case you missed it, last session, our boys here showed up down in Rejlaz Rhekōlb, the site of a recent massive tragedy where hundreds of thousands of people died. It was all very cheery as they walked through a city full of standing corpses and tried not to touch them so that those corpses wouldn't disintegrate into a choking dust. Then they met a guy named Ashtakrrok, who's about 6'7", built like a brick house, and is now sort of in charge of the whole city, even though he doesn't really live there. He is the tutor of the now king, Jolar, and that guy's name was Ashtakrrok. And he took them down to see a suspicious rune in the depths of the palace grounds, where they took a tracing of it and are now on their way back up to the palace itself for further investigation and sundry happenings. Keep on watching as we start with this episode of Umbalin and Oblivion. Thanks for sticking around through the introduction. We're going to go ahead, since this is just episode 2 of Umbalin and Oblivion, and go around the horn one more time, starting here with Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam. I'll be playing Jolar, the human fight. No, it's a Fonro fighter. But for anybody that doesn't know what a Fonro is, it's a human.
Hey everybody, I am Wade. I am playing Upanor Pex. I am a Kasharn gnome. And I am playing a artificer.
There you go.
Hello, I'm Wyatt. I'm a Leiludum, which is an elf wizard by the name of Fispinir.
I'm Will. I'm playing Nibdrum, a Gra Ungol, which is a dwarf, and I am a cleric.
Yeah. Rulion Veneer is the specific type of dwarf that you are.
What's Gra Ungol?
Gra Ungol just is the general term for dwarves, because there's a split among the dwarfs. There's a whole race chart that I'll put in the video right now, and if you can't see it, that means you're on YouTube, where there's only audio. If you want to see what we're talking about, then head on over to our Substack, and you can see a video there if you're a paid sub. Also, if you hear me munching on anything, that's because we made ourselves a little din-din of themed foods from a D&D cookbook. Got some pudding. The D&D official cookbook. This is called Ved Bread. It's like a mushroom cinnamon roll, but there's no cinnamon, so...
Not sponsored. Non-spawn.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but it is awfully tasty.
It was delicious.
I don't know if the truffle oil was worth it, though. That's very expensive stuff. Mm-hmm. But we'll go ahead and get in. I have produced you guys your rune here. You can show it to the cameras.
Well, you can see it.
There's a camera.
Is there a correct orientation there?
That is not currently recording.
Okay.
That is for... I will worry about that, so... Ooh, look at that.
I could hold it up to this camera.
Yeah, come hold to that camera.
Ooh, look at that. Yeah, it's much bigger in person, though. It's about a 3-foot circle that you guys found down there in the basement of...
What does it mean?
What does it mean? Well, you would actually be able to read some of it, sort of. Who? And so would you. Them two, because they can read those two languages there. But when you try to read it, it is total gibberish to you. So how do you guys... You do with that with what you will.
Like it's cloaked? Like it's cloaked with some...
So reading it, it does not form any words in your own languages. Like, all the sounds are there because the letters are there. Except for some of your letters, you know, from being an expert in ancient Mosart, Leiludum. Well, Mosart, no, not Mosart. Sweet Moses. Let me get the words right. Shalron. Shalron is the collective word for elves. Leiludum, specific subsection of elves. your language, you would know that this is probably not in modern Leiludum. It is in some sort of ancient Sharon script. So you would know that those are, because of, in particular, this emblem here and this emblem here. These two, that one there and that one there, those are not modern letters. So you would have to see what sort of letter sounds that makes with some, I mean, you could roll for it.
I would love to.
You can roll for it. Let's see what you get. This would just be, I'm going to give this one a history check, just so it's not investigation.
Very good.
What's the name of the city again?
You guys are in Rejlaz Rhekōlb.
Ooh, that's a 19 plus
That'll be
5.
Yeah,
24.
that'll be good enough. You're well versed in
This
these
is my
languages.
specialty.
So you would know that in particular is a borrow sound from the Mosarn language. Is a K sort of sound. Okay. Well, some of them are K, and the other one is a oh boy, it's two different types of K sounds. It's a concussive sound. One is like a K, and the other one is a K.
Okay.
Very, very similar sounds.
Yeah.
But you would know because that shape does quite closely relate to a modern Mosarn letter for that sound.
Okay.
So you figured that much out. But the rest, the vowels in particular, you're not sure of because well, you could try, but you don't know what house would have written this, what house this is from. So you don't know where these vowels actually would land in your alphabet because they're different. So.
Okay.
But we're back down in that room still. I think we were technically ascending.
Going back up.
We went back up at the end of the last session and caught back up. No, you went down with them.
I went down.
But you guys were ascending from the depths of the palace.
Was Ashtakrrok with us, or is he still up in the...
You guys are in the process of ascending the stairs, because I didn't emphasize this enough in the last one. But you guys were deep down in. Like, you went down several sets of stairs.
Of the palace.
You're kind of not sure where you are in the palace itself. Because you're so deep down in the palace. But you know that the palace itself sits on top of a giant bluff. So there's plenty of room down below before you get down to like groundwater level, which is the ocean. You know, you're on Isthmus way out here.
Gotcha.
I'm pointing to a map if you're on audio, because there's a map behind me. So you know that there is a very strong water level, but you're sitting hundreds of feet above it. So he is trying to pawn you off on somebody else because he has other things to do. So as you ascend back up the stairs, you are entering the main concourse of the palace that leads to the entrance. And Ashtakrrok will now converse with you. He says,
"Let me see if I can find someone who will be able to walk you around the city a little bit, who will have the time to do so."
And he kind of scans around, and you all see coming down the concourse from one of the far wings of the palace two Mapari, which are a different type of Sharon. They're the ones from the far shores. One of them is an older guy, but very finely dressed. The other one is a younger one. The other one is younger than him, still like a young middle age. It's all hard with the Sharon because they live for so long, but equivalently he would look somewhere late 30s, early 40s, so younger than you by a good bit, but still not a youth. So he's some sort of established character. And they're coming down and he says,
I think this will work.
And he calls out to them and he says,
Mokaro and Melbim, could you both come over here?
And Mokaro, the guy, the older one, says,
"Yes, Ashtakrrok. How may we be of assistance to you?"
And he smiles at him, sort of like a not exactly interested smile. And Ashtakrrok replies, "I'll just kind of go between voices rather than just saying who's talking, because it should be clear enough."
"Yes, Mokaro, these four have agreed to assist me with the investigation of the runes that you have also seen. And at a Melbim, I don't know if you would be interested in this thing, but you both have offered your services to the king, so they are here. I'm calling you on your services. Says, well, I don't know that I have the time for this, but Melbim.
Looks over at the younger one.
Melbim, I'm sure that you could assist these folks in their time of need.
He says, as you wish, Makaro. Oh, let me get his voice right. Hold on. As you wish, Makaro. As you've heard, my name is... Oh, boy, I'm not settling on his voice quite right. Hold on. Melbim. Melbim's voice was up here, and it was like... Not quite. Someone talk to him so I can figure this out.
So they're from the Far Shores, right?
I mean, originally, like, they wouldn't be
Yeah,
from the Far Shores, because that was...
there's a-
Well, actually, Makaro could theoretically be from the Marsh Shores. You don't know how old he is.
I would sort of give a bow. I assume that would be the point. But like, it's a pleasure to meet you. Nice to see you.
I'm glad that someone still has a bit of decorum in these times. Pleasure to meet you.
Always a pleasure. I've come from the towers of Rundale.
The towers are okay.
I was sent to...
Lovely place, I've been there before.
Well, we must have missed each other then. But,
Not hard.
Yes, it's a very big place, but I have been sent to help investigate what's going on here and to report back. So if there's anything we can do to help, as this kind man said, Ashtakrrok.
Yes. Well, I will actually take my leave of you now. I'll leave you in the capable hands of Melbim. He's a good lad, and I'm sure that he will be able to help you with whatever you need. Melbim, I leave them to you.
Makaro, thank you very much. Nope, he's not that low. Hold on, I'm trying not to do every voice super low. What was my entry phrase? He's not that British. He's not that British. He's a lot of British. There it is. There it is. Okay, Melbim. Here he is. Yes, glad to meet you.
I'm sorry. I'm Fistveneer.
Fistveneer, nice to meet you. Well met. I am Melbim, as you've heard. I am actually a councilman there out there in the Kisteonrit.
Oh well, very very well accomplished.
Thank you. Thank you. From Towers, that is great to hear. I hope that your expertise will elucidate some of the more finer details that are certainly escaping us. I'm not familiar with the languages here myself, so any assistance will be greatly administered.
Thankfully, language is my specialty.
So we have, you found this down, we found it down in the depths. Let me actually, so what is your plan to investigate these runes?
Do we have much of a plan? Kind of looking at the four.
Open all.
Oh, you all are involved. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Nibdrum.
Oh, open all, what, sorry, what was that?
Where was the count? Who's the people that sent me? This is Tuesday.
Yes, you were sent by the council, the eldership.
From where?
I mean,
Does
you
anyone know what the
would
eldership-
assume.
He knows what the eldership is? Or
Yeah,
did I
the
say
eldership
council?
is like saying that the Congress sent you.
Do I say eldership or the council?
It's the eldership.
Okay.
It's the phrase is the eldership.
I'm Nibdrum. I was sent. I can't.
It's alright, you're fine.
I was sent by the council, and to investigate
The eldership.
You said council first.
I know I said council first.
My name is.
He's on the council.
My name is Nibdrum. I've been sent by the eldership to investigate what's going on here.
Great. Oh, so another investigator who seems to have quite opportunely arrived just after events. You both, are you some sort of experts in the town?
My name's Upanor Pix. They may be of mind of the books, but I am more of the machinations of the mechanical. So that is my specialty.
Lovely. I don't know how much assistance that will be here, but
You never know.
All help is help.
I'm Berlon, sir, and I'm honestly just looking for my parents.
Your parents?
Yeah, they were here visiting for the king's birthday and evidently were caught up in all of this.
Well, if they were here, then they were certainly caught up, because, as I'm sure you've seen, everyone was caught up in this.
His face wasn't that positive.
No, no one's face should be positive in these parts.
There's
Yes.
hope yet, maybe, till we find a body.
We'll find plenty of bodies as we go around the city, but
Was there
living bodies.
anywhere in the city that was more greatly impacted?
Greatly impacted. As far as I've seen, I personally have not left the palace grounds after I made my way up from the gates. I came in through the northern concourse, actually, so not even the main gates. But it seems to be rather widespread. Everyone was gathered around the square during the king's birthday for the Rejlaz Rhekōlb display, so the idea that theoretically, if you move out towards the edge of the city, possibly, but the destruction was rather widely wrought, so I don't believe that anybody would be surviving outside. The king, the new king, Jolar and Ashtakrrok, who both of them have now walked away. He handed you off, and Melok, or whatever his sort of name was. I forgot to give him a name before we started. Huh?
Mokaru? The other guy?
Yeah, the other guy. The other guy left. The elder, I'll just call him the elder from now on, because he would have reverence for him. What was I saying?
Is Jolar available? Like, is he around?
Who are you asking?
I'm asking, like...
Are you asking... Who is asking?
That's a good point.
Are you asking me, or is Nibdrim asking Meldrim?
Would we be able to talk to the king? The current king?
The king's not held open hours for anyone in particular. It's mostly by invitation at the moment. He has been rather overwhelmed from what I've heard. Which, to be fair, yes, it's understandable in the circumstances. I mean, finding your own parents deceased in the manner in which they were, I'm sure would shake anyone.
Certainly no way to start your reign.
Certainly not. No, absolutely not.
Unless he wanted to reign.
Sorry, what was that?
Nothing.
I don't believe the king has enough power to conjure something on this scale.
Yeah, I would be shocked. From my reports, I would be shocked indeed.
He's a dunce.
No, listen, that is the king you're talking about. That is quite rude.
Sorry?
That is quite rude. You're lucky that Ashtakrrok is out of earshot, because he would have none of that. None of that. He's a pupil of his, you know. But let me actually assist you all here. And he pauses. He just like pulls his side bag around to the front of him. He like reaches his whole arm into it, and he pulls out.
Fun.
He starts to untangle his little thing. Well, that shouldn't be in this playlist.
Please don't untangle your thing.
This is an ad? I'll fix that in a moment. And he hands you all this map. Whoa!
That is indeed... It's
bit-
indeed
it's
a
a
map.
bit big.
It's a map. A very big map.
How is it in the bag? What kind of wizardry is this?
It holds things.
Oh, there's
Big
the corner.
things.
I'll use my cup.
It's a bag that holds.
Lift your
Oh, that's a very nice map.
I spent
map.
long enough on
You
it.
fit so much lines on this.
So you printed this part and then drew it all in?
No, it's all printed. So you all were down in the depths of the palace, I'm assured.
Where's the palace at?
Yes, indeed.
Palace is here, at the end of the royal promenade.
Oh, that's a street.
This is great.
Hold on, wait.
It's my
wait, can I-
stand-in.
where's the rune?
Two tall boys in a
Can I see that rune?
Yeah, the rune.
That's the wrong rune. Hold on, give me that rune back.
Oh, sorry.
That's the wrong rune. There's multiple runes!
That answers my question.
There's multiple runes!
Are they
You
different?
don't, you don't know that. You don't know that. Look at all the pages.
It's a puzzle.
It's a puzzle.
You don't know anything that's going on.
Oh, there's even treat. That is a special treat.
There you go. There's the rune.
You're so good at props.
That's the right rune.
Go DM.
Do we want to show them the right room to the camera?
Yeah, you can show the rune. Ooh, look at the rune. Wow.
Rune stuff.
But you guys, that's the only rune that you've seen.
Okay.
That's obviously the only rune that exists in this whole entire world.
Uh-huh.
So you all found this down in the depths of... Stepping on your territory all of a sudden. I have to avoid certain vowel sounds because it's very natural for me to go into an Australian/New Zealand accent, so I have to be careful with that. Where did he go? His name, voice, that is proper, that is. Yeah, so you all were down in the depths, softer vowels. You were down in the depths of the palace. Do you know about where you were below? To sort of get us bearings on the map.
To be honest with you, it was kind of hard.
Yes,
very
yes,
deep
it is
down.
rather labyrinthine down there.
I know we were down, very down.
I have a question.
Fair, that is fair.
Under
Yes.
the argument that I'm used to navigating the labyrinth of a library, can I roll a nature check or something of the sort to see if I can...
See if you can keep your
Counted
sense of
the steps.
direction.
Yeah.
That's great.
Wow.
Ooh, that is.
Let's see. I don't
When he
think.
fails,
What's
can I
your
do
what
the
is
same?
what's your passive perception?
That's a great question.
I want to partake in
Can I
that.
find that on the main page?
I think Mooney's
You wouldn't have any training that. You're used to open plains and stuff.
15.
15.
it's pretty high.
I have a good sense of direction.
Yeah, for like out in the world. This is talking about walking through like
Fine.
Corridor.
enclosed things.
Just
He would actually also
would.
he would be pretty
Mr.
good at it as
Underground
well.
Man.
Because you wouldn't have been thinking about trying to track where you're going, is my thought process. So I don't know that. Think about it. Yeah, you'd say it sort of sprawled kind of north from the castle proper, like the entrance of the castle. It's a castle. It's a palace. It's not a castle. It's a palace. Okay, there's a difference. It's a palace. And you know what? Since I put so much work in this, I'll put a little bit of this in the audio too, so you all get to see it in there momentarily. No, I'll leave it up for a little while. But yes, so so he hands you guys this map and you sort of look at it. And yes, so you found it in the palace grounds, so we can say it was about here. I'm not sure where else. What is the going theory? I haven't put much thought into it myself as to what's happening or what had happened.
I don't know much about a theory, but on the rune here, I made a sketch of it.
That is useful.
See, the outer ring there. You might recognize it as our own language, but much older.
It's your language.
Well, yes, but
It's a language.
a language, yes, but
It's actually multiple languages looking at it now.
I've deciphered the outer ring, but it's pure gibberish.
Really?
Yes.
Do you know which way is up?
No. Well, the rune might have a certain orientation.
Are any of you familiar with the runes?
Are any of us familiar with runes?
Can I roll
That's
an
not,
Arcana check?
that's not my voice. Okay, I do have one quick
can I roll
question.
Huh?
Roll Arcana?
Sure, you can roll Arcana.
So I know of the thing.
Yeah.
Do I recognize the things? I think
Do you
last
recognize-
time you said that I am able to understand
Let me see if
what the outcome of the rune would be, not necessarily understand.
If you're
what-
familiar with the rune, you would know what the outcome would be about. Hold on, let me. This one you would not be familiar with because there's not many runes that you use in your
18.
18. No, not even close.
Darn.
It'd be like a 30 for you, man. You have no. You barely even recognize this. Oh, you recognize that.
I recognize my own language.
Even if he doesn't know what the rune does, is there a chance he might know what orientation it's supposed to be? So we like know which way's up.
So so these runes. No, he does not know. He does not know. These runes are very. I know how they work, obviously, because I made them all. But it's.
No.
I would like. Boy, I wish I could tell you guys. I wish I could tell you. It's very cool how this
A
works.
puzzle for us to solve, I'm sure.
You can try to solve
Told me a bit.
Yeah, but you
but I
don't
told
remember
you.
because it's
but
very complicated.
Guess what? I don't remember.
Yeah, you know that they mean something.
You told me how they work.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so yeah. But how do you guys try to decipher that? I'll take a look at it. I mean, I'm not familiar with, like I said, either of your languages. So can either of you read this? Like, what does it look like to you? You said gibberish.
Gibberish.
For me,
Do I know
for
anything
me,
about it?
it's that part. Not the outer one, but the second
Yes,
one.
no,
in.
I can
Yes,
recognize
yes,
your
it's-
language. Yes, your.
It also
ilk.
all the sounds are there, but when put together, it's gobbledygook. It makes no sense.
No.
It's
Okay,
all.
what does it sound like?
He explains what it sounds
He
like.
explains what it sounds like. Okay.
No,
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and
Upanor may
go
speak
ahead
the
and roll
language,
me
but I
a
do not.
just a intelligence
Full
check. Saving throw.
saving throw. Ooh.
He's checking.
No, just saving. It's not that dire of a situation. It doesn't need to be a saving throw. Just an intelligence check.
Can it be investigation?
Huh?
Can it
Can you get investigation?
I'm investigating the runes.
No, not for you.
Oh.
Because it's gibberish for you.
Arcana.
I don't know.
Do you know Sharon? Do you know Ledudum?
Actually, with it being an old language, would it be history? Both are intelligence skills.
I'll give you investigation. We're all thinking about it right now, so I'll give you investigation.
That's an unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20?
Yes.
I can read Ungol, Ludum.
Okay. Okay.
Veneer.
So you would know the
common.
language as well. With a 20, you do recognize what he's saying.
What he's saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
you recognize what he's saying.
that's cool.
You recognize it's sort of garbled, but it appears to be a phonetic spelling of words in your language in his alphabet.
Perchance, what do those translate to common?
I may have to go check my further archives about what that looks.
Delve into the library.
I have it, but I don't know if I can grab it off of that other screen. I should have had that over here.
It
Printed
says
that off.
Borlak was here.
No, it does. Let me. I will be right back. How do I get out of here? Entertain them for a moment.
Oh, we're gonna keep this
Okay.
How are you guys doing? Well,
Oh, my mouse is in there.
This is beautiful.
it is very beautiful.
It is.
It was also
Phenomenal.
helpful to know how to spell the name of the city.
Rejlaz Rhekōlb.
I was
very
not
close.
close.
I will say this on the overview. It is not present.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, it says that he's gonna put a picture in post.
He has a digital
What if
version.
my hands are show up?
You, I
You're
have
looking at
marked
the
with
wrong.
tape,
You're
dude.
looking at the wrong.
Oh yeah, I am. There it is.
You're crazy.
I am certifiable.
I'm sure that's very entertaining in case Andrew leaves us in.
I don't know where we go with this.
My favorite
I
part of the
think-
maps.
Well, what I was
I may
thinking,
have to cut it out.
that one tree.
There are delightful little trees scattered.
This reminds
All
me. This
over.
gives, the whole wall gives me.
But that one
92
is-
vibes.
Very fancy. Is it a special tree?
My thinking was, well, before we've come onto this beautiful clue, I was thinking that if we could find more runes, maybe it was a cipher, and we could use them to like decipher it.
I had a crazy
Which that
theory,
might still help.
but I don't think it holds any ground.
Well, it might just be crazy enough to work.
Did the runes match the layout of the streets?
That would be wild. That'd be a lot of runes.
For it to impact the whole city, you would feel like they would have to be in like specific places on the outskirts.
And so this one,
And the one,
Because the palace is on the outskirts too.
there, Sam,
kind of.
Can you lift us
That's
up
this whole area.
and put that
Is that
underneath
a
us?
lake? They walled in
Like
a
if
lake.
we-
This is bougie. over
That
here.
is not a lake. That is a reservoir.
Nerd.
Sir, that is the city's water
That
supply.
looks very not man-made.
This is very French-esque. I'm not gonna like Paris. It's like McDonald's.
So that would go there. So in theory,
What am I?
Do we know
He
which
did
way
say
is
that the
actually-
explosion-
theory.
Let's find the tavern.
we're not affiliated.
He retired at
Take us to the clubs. Take us to the clubs, Melbim.
He brings us to the armory.
And it's just the most depressing thing ever because
Everyone's
it's just,
dead.
Melbim?
Everyone's dead.
Melbim? Do you like to party?
I've seen that look in your eye. Don't you?
Like Melvin, he really not. How do you say Melvin?
It's Melbim.
Melvin?
We don't have any
not
way of
Melbin.
knowing which way is up.
Hey,
No.
Melvin?
We might in a
Melbim's really
moment.
hard to say
The
in a
moon
New Zealand
phases
accent.
might indicate if we start with a new or full. Okay.
It sounds like. It sounds like.
Wait, can you say that again?
He says it again.
He says something that sounds similar to Malleus surums ulum oru folier if sininrid, which would say something like,
That means
which would be like, there you go, I'll let you say it.
ooh. That's what is like mile? Is it Leiludum? My specific.
Yeah, it would be Leiludum, but it's Leiludum.
That's Leiludum for I am arriving by magical movement at distant lands. I said that very quick, but I'm sorry, I'm excited about this discovery. But I am arriving by magical movement at distant lands.
Arriving.
But if your language is something mine,
History. Check. See if that is... Well, first off, would Upanor know, like, about... I know the vagueness of the lore, but I don't know what it's called. Where the big scary guy came up north on the map.
Oh, because you weren't privy to that conversation. You could roll me a history check
Okay.
to see how much you are familiar with that.
To see how scary that sounds.
Huh?
it reminds me of the whole.
No.
No.
Roll the 7.
Roll the 7. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to you. It's like,
But I would be, wouldn't I?
And what ring?
I would be familiar.
That's the
Or
that's
that
the
would-
inner ring before the rune, right?
that is what this says. That's what this says in his language, but his alphabet.
But I'm bad at history.
It's my bit.
Wait, does this mean anything to you? And I would like to read the exterior ring.
For that, it would not. It would not
still
sound
gibberish.
anything. Yeah, but I roll me an investigation check.
I have a curious. What does that sound like to you? On yours, like that. You say that,
Here,
and
let me
maybe
say-
I'll understand it.
Let me sound it out.
Yeah.
That's 15.
No, it sounds like gibberish to you.
Oh. Right. Oh, it's with a shot.
You say your gibberish thing, and I'll roll. Can I roll Arcana?
You are not familiar enough with his language. Which you said 15?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think with a 15, you would know that you don't have the vowels right. If it doesn't mean anything to him, it's the vowels that are the issue. And to figure out what those vowels are, how this vowel sound has been split up would be very difficult. So it would take some deeper research in order for you to figure out
Do I
that in
think
particular.
that if I had more examples of the same script, I could perhaps decipher what the vowels are? Like, we find more runes?
Yeah, if they were consistent across the scripts, then yeah, you feel like it would help you, certainly.
I explained just that. I was like, well, it's a bit complicated, really, but there's different types of vowels that use in the language, but if I can find, if there's more of these runes around the city, I might be able to decipher exactly what they mean. It's no guarantee, but it's something to go off of.
Would I know which way the rune would be up? Like which orientation the rune should be in?
I will give.
Maybe
Yeah,
if I
I maybe
roll
should
for
have
it-
allowed you to do that yet, because you didn't know which way was up. No, but as you read through it, some of those words sort of make sense. So actually, with his help, with all this coming together, you would know which way it would be oriented. Because you would have started like maybe in the middle of this word, but then started saying words that made sense to you. So you would have eventually found out that that it's oriented like this. This is the bottom. This is the top.
Ah, very nice.
All right.
Yeah, and you would. Yeah, so your word would have started. I believe it was right there. Hold on, let me double check my note here.
What was his name again?
Who? Melbim.
Melbim. So
Yes, it's quite impressive, all of you, putting this together.
in the efforts of deciphering
Gibberish to me.
these gibberishes, do we know of any other runes around the city and their locations?
As of right now, all I'm aware of is this one here, down in the depths of the palace.
So just in trying to understand the whole event, where again did the cataclysm start? Where was its origin point?
These are better questions for Ashtakrrok, since he's the only one, aside from the king, who's
Yes,
seen
it was here.
Yeah,
we know that.
That's what I was saying.
It was
yeah.
here.
I agree with him. It was in this general city-wide area.
My point being is, if we can figure out where the origin point was, in theory, if we have one, we could then measure distance from the center to our rune, and
I'm
maybe
open to
then
suggestions.
find
I've provided
more
you a
runes
map
along that line.
tote you around the city, but I'm more familiar with it than you are. Apparently, I've been here a couple of times.
I have a question.
I have never been here my entire life.
It's fair. I don't believe that the cash will make it this far south generally. On mountains for miles.
I know that if you want to ask, I know Ashtakrrok and the new king himself, they were on a ship out in the bay, so they saw the event, but
Yes.
from that angle it might not be an exact measurement of where the center was, but something I wonder, especially since you've been in the city longer than us, is there seemingly a beginning point for where all the people, the corpses still standing and running from?
From what I understand, most people had gathered in the main plaza here outside of the inner gate. That is, as you walked in from the gate over there, that's where you would have entered. Sorry, that's where you would have entered from.
Yeah.
I came in through the northern concourse, so I was able to avoid most of the crowding as I made my way into the city. But if you came down the main way, then you would have seen that most people were trying to get out of the city from here in the Plaza district.
So what you're saying is the majority of the people were fleeing from more in the palace area.
They were gathered in the plaza because it was the best view that they could get from the Zero Rhekōlb display that was primarily above
Yes, the display.
the upper city. It was launched from here in the Royal Promenade. You may have seen the outside the establishment. So they were gathered there because it's the best sightlines in the city to see them. Is what I've been told.
I have an idea. I don't know if you'll let me do it though.
Sure.
Do I remember, perhaps suddenly I'm recollecting, were there a lot of, probably guards, were probably the ones doing it, but people who weren't running, who were standing still and looking up? Could I perchance get an idea of what direction they were
See where
moving
he's
in?
down with this.
I mean, from your walk-in, and the description that you heard from Ashtakrrok in the last episode, if you want to go back and listen to that, it's quite a performance. No, I'm kidding. Only a little bit. The halo itself would have covered the breadth of the city. So I mean, you would have seen people in sort of. Some people in like resigned embraces, I would say. Resigned embrace.
Yes.
Like kind of looking up over their shoulder, maybe up at the sky in general. Mm-hmm. But it wouldn't have been. I think he wants some more pudding.
Yes.
He wants some more pudding. There's pudding, by the way. Delightful
Yes, I would like
pudding.
some more pudding. I was trying not to interrupt.
That's fine.
It's a beautiful game of charades going on.
It is good pudding. I made some good pudding. So it wouldn't have been anything in particular. Like some people would have been looking outward, some people were looking just straight up. So there's not. It was so big that there wasn't anything in particular. The only thing specific that he would have said would have been that it had been a halo above the city.
Didn't it start as like a star and then expand then?
It came as a pinpoint of light, is what he would have said, like a star that was descending from the sky. So ambiguous size, and then it spread out from there into the crackling halo.
Well, perhaps to answer our questions, I would like to ask Melbim. So, have you found any other rooms besides the one underneath the palace?
I mean, I have not been looking.
asked him that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very short-minded.
So you, like I told him that I've been more just administratively assisting. I've not been out around, certainly not in any sort of in the catacombs or sewers, or even on the surface level streets to see if there's been anything. The guards have been all over. Well, as far as I can tell, they have. So they may have seen something, but I'm not aware of any particular sightings.
As somebody who's been working in an administration role, do you perhaps know where we could... Is there any records of places in the city that go deep underground? As you said, catacombs, sewers.
Do the catacombs and sewers run the whole city?
They vary. I mean, the low end doesn't have a great system set up. It being the lowest point in the city, it's most things kind of flow there. So those are rather crowded pipes, I would assume. The wall, the main walls typically have some subterranean passageways as well to get people out of, if the wall were to fall, you'd at least be able to still get around on the perimeter. So there are some ready-made passages underneath the city walls, the sewers, the catacombs. The catacombs are mostly in the temple quarter, as you would imagine. That's where they would have started. And there are some military down in the garrison.
Are there any? Do you know if there's any spellcasters amongst the soldiers' ranks? Anybody in the city that might know detect magic?
Well, I might be able to assist in some regard.
Oh, delightful.
For detect magic, that's a pretty straightforward spell.
Yes, I smile, but inside I'm dying. I can never get the hang of that one. So simple,
it's pretty
easy.
I mastered it years ago.
I can perform the ritual for it to not expel any sort of...
I would do it myself, but...
Oh, you would?
I would not deprive you of the honor.
The honor. Ritual is ritual, I suppose. Do you think... I can certainly sort of whip this up. It'll take me a moment, obviously, to prepare it. And he goes into his little ritual. I believe it will take him 1 minute and 6 seconds, right?
Can I stand behind
No, 10
him?
minutes.
And just... I want to stand behind him and copy everything he does. To this...
Kind of catches you. Oh, do you need to
just
copy it?
I'm just refreshing, that's all.
Well, do you need to copy it down? I can lend you it later on if you have the supplies to copy it.
I am unfortunately short on the supplies. My
Okay.
departure from the towers is rather quick.
If you prove yourself useful, I might be able to provide you with some supplies.
Offer.
I am everything, including generous. But that's for later on. I know it takes it'll take you the evening to get copied into your book, but and he takes off. I don't know what he takes, ritual casting takes you 10 minutes plus the spell time, so like for 10 minutes he's like sort of preparing himself.
While he's doing it, I just want to say to
Is that right? Is that right?
Nibdrum.
yeah, Nibdrum, I have a feeling it's going to be something like this again. Detect magic. Just the whole... What? The explosion was here.
My idea is that it might be the runes themselves might be.
Oh, I see. There might be stronger points of magic. Yes. Right. Okay. Got it.
Precisely.
Focal points, one might say.
If you want.
What's
Alright,
that
I'm
space
struggling to
I don't
remember
like the
how
game very
known
much.
and unknown.
He's
The-
the wet. Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna be.
So the Corbage.
I think he'll
Or
prove incredibly useful if we ever
race.
need to carry things around.
No.
It's a title.
And
Like
he's,
saying
he's
you're-
wonderful
it's a-
company.
it's a title.
I enjoy
Okay.
your
I
company
am
deeply.
the Refeet doll.
Yeah. You have arms.
But is the keystone?
You are a
Hold that up.
keystone.
Here,
Just
help,
lighting
help,
a
You are a
fuse.
keystone.
help an old man.
Your
Can
badge
you
is
hold
like-
it for me, please?
The
my
power to do the thing.
That's like
Same
saying
place.
I wish I could just like
Okay.
That's and the keystone are
make
who
the
you
thing
are.
have legs to walk.
But I don't.
Because Tyrol are the bad guys. The Zejlon, those guys.
And I did underline it.
Yeah, on this phone, that's a
But I wouldn't immediately. So I was kind of
Sorry,
thinking two thoughts I was trying to get together. As if there's some spot on the map that it would point us to, as far as like, are these like some kind of street
You
layout?
guys have a pencil?
I have a pen.
I can get one from your office. If there's one.
I just. It's fine. I was just going to mark the bottom on this. Let me do it on the back.
Good man. I tell you. I'm like 5 times as old as you.
Where is it? Where's the bottom? There it is.
I was alive before your great grandmother.
Alright, there we
She
go.
was wonderful.
I marked bottom for you guys on the back of this.
Also scribble.
You mark what?
I marked what the bottom is. So,
oh yeah, I
so
also
you can know how to
did.
look at it.
I'm just the room, not the.
Yeah, these are the sort of key ones that clue you into it, that these two are the bottom.
Let's just like go out and feel some vibes.
That's what Take Magic is for, is feeling the vibe.
Just do some vibe checks.
Vibe check the city.
Alright, we'll say they did is 10 minutes. It's like, okay, so this will be up for a certain amount of time. It's the range is rather limited, I will say. But we can, shall we, we'll go down and get an inkling of it, of the rune that we know where it is.
Get a base.
So,
Get a base reading.
yeah, we'll track our way down there to sort of keep track of where we are underneath this the city to get a better realization of it on the map. So you all make your way back down to the rune. He's like, okay, so not getting a lot off of this, to be frank, but I will say that slight evocation magic would be my guess, which would make sense with what you had said that he said, some sort of travel, some sort of non-linear travel, which is quite interesting. Evocation would be my guess of it, but again, it's very faint, so it only picks it up when I'm in the room with it at this point. It is, well over 20 days old at this time, so that there's even a lingering presence is impressive in and of itself. Oh, and I guess I can show you what this guy actually looks like.
Wow.
Cute.
I'm just kind of struggling to gauge how much should I recognize
I mean-
of the runes because of what I am.
You would recognize this one as a rune.
Just as a rune.
Yeah, you recognize
only
it
that
as a
far.
rune. You know just from this outline, this lines,
But I know it's part of the.
you know it's a rune from
Is there a name for the runes? That
it's
It's a-
lost information. So you know it as a rune. I don't know how you would adjectivize, make into an adjective. The further, it's a furtherling rune. It would be as close as you would.
it's
get.
from the before times.
Yeah. On the other side of the severing.
Right.
On the other side of the severing. That's what it's gonna sound like now. Melbim's gonna sound like this now. No, that's a different character. You'll meet him later on. He's gonna be his cousin.
We honestly don't speak very often. You'll just have to bear with him. He means well. He's just a bit touched in the head.
I heard that. I don't know. It's not a very big picture, but you can see him on that.
Got kicked by a.
Gotcha.
He just looks like a pretty
Drumel.
generic dwarf. Drumel. What are we doing? We're down there. We looked.
Down there,
We saw the
okay.
rune. It is evocation magic. And could you grab the post-it notes off of my desk in there? I just don't want to actually mark the map.
You worked hard on it.
Yes.
Understatement
that
of the
is
century.
I was granted a reprieve when we did not record last week because it was not at this level.
Right, so
So you did figure out this is water, these are cliffs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So are we just going to wander about until we find more? Is that the
There
idea?
has to
I
be.
would rather not
There has to be a
wander.
point and a reason to this. So
I mean,
we need to find. If we
It's
can
a harder
find one
objective
more,
than you made it
we might be.
sound.
aren't there just pink post-it notes on my desk?
I don't think
Okay. There's also some right there.
they're buried.
There we go. All right.
If we can
So-
find one more ring, then we should be able to establish a pattern.
But it's an entire city. You know what?
Well,
Are there
from
any
what
more
we've
points of
heard,
interest like there is here with the palace?
from what we've heard, and we probably guesstimated that it was about here that we are, underneath the city. Yeah, that's about right. We do know, the one thing that we know is that it was a circle, and if this was a singular rune, you would think that it would be centered here, no? If there was just one rune, I would think that it'd be centered on it, but it wasn't. So perhaps...
If we can find one more, we might be able to trace the line. That is your accent,
Close
not mine. We can all picks.
What do we
Sorry.
What do we think the odds are that the next rune is within 60 feet of us?
Within 60 feet, I mean, the city is massive. I don't believe that...
I
there'd be
figured the odds are
anything-
low, but I thought I'd put it out.
60 feet, but it gives us from one side of the promenade to the other, you know?
Right.
Maybe. I don't actually know quite what the scale is on this map. It is accurate, but scale-wise, I don't know that how it works. That was not him talking, that was me. What I suggest is that maybe... if I were constructing something of the sort, then I might have some sort of bounding circle, maybe, to withhold a bit of magic. So, I don't know. I try not to spoon feed you all.
Make the NPC do all the work.
Oh, by all means, please.
Well, let me roll for it,
I'm
actually.
used to being
He
intelligent.
is rather intelligent, so let's see what he gets. 14 plus, if he's going to do... He's not an investigator, though. Just
My brain
general
is just
intelligence,
saying
it's a
that the
17.
It looks like that.
I say that we just work our way towards the middle. If there was a point where it descended, then might that be the center of things, and there would be a point where it joined in the middle.
Can
And-
I?
So, I don't know, the whole city, going towards the middle wouldn't hurt by
Can
any
I
stretch
make-
of the imagination.
I will say this,
Similar
if-
check.
Similar,
There
you just want
might
to think,
be. It's really easy to get. You're throwing me off.
what, with the British and an Irish, it's hard to get on your own New
Zealand,
Zealand.
it's-
The Anglosphere
Yes.
Morrow's accent sounds no
Can we
way.
Anyways, open up it. So if we
I just like to think that your tick, as like Umbalor's tick is that he says his name all the time.
It's like Gollum.
Your picks, your picks.
It's a Pokemon.
open a breaks. Anyways, so
Can you make a Pokemon?
if there was a center point, could there have been a possible small exclusion zone where there's not as much damage from where it radiated out?
I don't see why.
There's
More of a
possible,
focal
I'm sure,
point.
yeah, but
We'd have to go back.
I'm asking if anyone's seen it.
well, I mean, the middle of we all walked through the middle of the city. There's only one point of egress that I'm aware of into the upper city, and it's the upper
Did we
gate, and no one survived in that plaza.
Might I propose that we walk and talk at the same time? We're not doing any good standing.
This is very, very good.
We can say that we were already doing it.
Sorry.
We at least made it out into back upstairs
Oh,
into
back
the palace.
descending,
Because you were down in there. You figured out you're tracking. Like, all right, made turn here, turn there, move straight, long way down stairwell. I don't know who this guy is.
Now that
Probably
are we out on the promenade?
So as you guys exit from the palace back into the promenade, you sort of like, for the first time, can take in what the city even looks like. Because you've been down in the city coming in. And you look out and you're at the highest point of the city at this point, right? You're up on top of the royal plain. It's not called the royal plain. The royal plateau. No, this is like the whole thing is a couple names for it. Upper city, old city, royal plateau. And you look out and even through all the destruction, it is sort of a breathtaking sort of city. And you've got the Temple of Zerhos over here, just off to the right, and it's an immaculate building, one that it is an alien sort of architecture to Umbalin, especially to you. I mean, you're so old that you're very familiar with it, but it matches that, this guy is a patron of the Further, so that his structure is so strange is apropos, I should say. But the college quarter off to the other side with its main spire there that you can see cracked at the top now, and one of the main buildings there had been shattered into pieces. The city below, just various bits of destruction. Nothing burning at this point, just because it's been so long that any fires have either burnt themselves out or been extinguished by those who arrived later.
Minor mental recap for myself.
Yeah.
The destruction in the city was from small, I'm just going to say projectiles, for the sake of simplicity. It wasn't just one massive explosion. There were smaller things coming from the explosion that were causing damage.
After
Am
hearing...
I remembering that correctly?
Well, okay, so they would have a better visual of it than you do, but they would have clued you in probably by this point.
Yes, I am short.
But the halo that was above the city was made of some sort of electricity or lightning. So
it was crackling. Okay.
It was crackling. And
like lightning strikes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there was like many lightning strikes on the tallest bits of the city. So like there's a lot of destruction up here in the royal quarter, or the royal plateau. There we go. But even going down into the main part of the city, there's buildings that are crumbled over. But that seems to be more from shoddy construction materials than anything else from a distance. But you can see that like this was once a beautiful city. Even the parts, even really going all the way down to the low end, there's even some sort of rustic charm to it. And that they're all gone now is sort of all hits you at this point. Even after walking past all these corpses, that the city may never recover. So on that note,
In reality.
in reality, I don't know. Roll me a Constitution check. Like, how are you handling this?
I would like.
Nat 20, dude. You're comforting him is what you're doing. Upanor feels bad about it. But you're walking and talking down the
Really
royal
holding it
promenade.
together.
Can I
Yeah.
cast protection?
That was a nat
You're
20, by the way.
white-knuckling
Just
through it.
just in case you were wondering, he rolled a nat 20 because we didn't announce it. So he's steeled himself. Yeah, he's doing great.
Can I cast precipitation as we walk just to do my part?
I'm doing my part.
You guys just see like a bit of dust like move off of the road as you're walking. Like he lights little tiny fires on like bits of rubbish that have blown in.
Can I do a perception check to just kind of get a general feel for? I don't know. I'm looking for a hook, and
What sort of hook?
well, like just
Trying to see like what are you trying to do?
I don't know, something about what would this point us to? And I was trying to make sense of like this, do the streets match the shape of the rune kind of thing? I don't know. I was looking for something that would point us to the next how do we find the next room?
Well, starting.
Any guards nearby?
You can roll. I mean, you could roll. It would be intelligence. It wouldn't be perception necessarily, because you're trying to think of this. Using brain power. So, I mean, we're spamming it so much. But is there a better option than investigation?
We're just so
It's not.
smart.
I mean, you're just really...
Yeah, you're just really trying to think
Speaking
about it.
of investigation,
Yeah,
Upanor wants to see something.
it's for people. It's for
Can I
for
do
seeing
Arcana?
someone's
You're
mind,
like
really.
reading...
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
As we walk,
Investigations for things, insights for people.
as we walk, because I need things to build things.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
You're trying to scavenge as you walk
Yes,
with people?
I am. I am trying to pilfer the destroyed city.
You better hope it's not rubbish, because I'm...
I mean, remember, like the Royal Promenade is pretty well populated with guards and garrison people.
Well, we're still on the promenade right now.
The promenade's like pretty long.
Okay, I thought we were
But this is like a
When
huge,
we get
there's a
to
huge-
the-
hundreds of thousands of people live in this city. Okay.
here.
Huh?
Here area, not the promenade.
Okay. When you get outside of the view of like bunches of people who have authority and stuff like that,
Yes.
even though you're walking around with somebody who you haven't really established what he's doing.
Okay.
Sneaky.
Can I do
Right,
an
sneaky.
Arcana check? For similar to the same thing, of just like... Still trying to keep in mind where the first room was, and like
Yeah.
the what was it, the containing circle, where that might be, the middle bit.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I mean, you guys are walking along. You're kind of looking at the map as you walk along. I mean, you're kind of just you can roll. Yeah.
Is it, I just want to draw a line between that and the middle point in the city, and like try and keep that in mind. Arcana is the same thing as investigation, like plus wise. I just want to mix it up a little.
Sure, you can. Yeah.
As an 18, not 19.
18 total?
Mm-hmm.
18 total? I mean, yeah, the Plaza District is where you're going to, if you're looking for the center of something, you started and you're on the edge.
Just draw a line.
So, I mean, if you just draw, I mean, look, this line is almost straight across from the promenade all the way through. All the way through to this city and out there. So, you don't know exactly, like, where everything's going to, you don't know where things are going to be. But
Okay.
starting in the plaza section and seeing if there's any, you can start looking around there for sure.
Can I do this in character, real quick?
Yeah, you can do something. Sure, I'm not going to say no. Oh, in character, you're going to pull out. It's part of my twine. Here, I'll help you. Here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where's that? Right there in this building? Ish? That
Sure. Yeah, that's. I mean,
Does
that's.
that look like the middle this way? Like,
I mean, if you're just using that as your point of reference, then yes, that's.
well, that
that's
seems
gonna
like
be-
the corners
that's
of the
pretty
city.
good. Yeah. If we're doing the corners, then I can like put it. Ooh, I can put it here.
Here.
If we're going like the
But
far
we
distance.
want to hit that room now.
Right.
So that shifts it a bit. What do we think about that? Does
For
that
those of you who can't see, they've taken a piece of twine and are
Yeah.
stretching it across the city map to find the center point.
Fistfinger just has twine on him. He just does that.
It has twine.
Yeah.
Because Wyatt just has the twine.
Just has twine on it. As well as some trash, but that trash good.
Twine.
Melbim, I'm curious. What have you been working on?
Melbim.
Melbim.
Bim.
Melbim.
We've all been saying it wrong.
Melbim?
I haven't said it very clearly. Melbim.
Melbim.
You finally got tired of this.
What have you been brought to the city for? You know, what have you been able to participate in investigation-wise, and you know, what are we really taking you away from right now?
We've, to be frank, well, the elder there offered our services. We were actually here for the party, but we'd been. We had
Luckily
been
delayed.
we've been called away across the Populish, the bay here, to one of the garrisons on the other side, near the Shorpash. We have an outpost over there. Well, a combined outpost with the Fawnrail that is technically part of our jurisdiction, as representatives in the court there in the Kisteonred.
Just out of curiosity, could you see what happened from all the way over there?
From across the bay, it's quite
Was
a
it just
distance.
a faint flash?
Yeah, there was a flash in the sky, but it was reported as such. I was indoors at the moment. But we were not able to see the Zero Rhekōlb, but we were able to see apparently the culmination of this whole thing from across the bay. So I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I mean, I've heard the description myself.
Quite blinding.
And it's a great distance away. It was sort of like
Quite a bit of luck that you would happen to be away with such a catastrophe.
I agree. It was. I'm very glad.
Rolled a 22 on insight.
Yeah, no, he's thrilled that he was not here. But on a 22 insight, you get the he's like, yeah, no, we were I wanted to. I was like, I know, I wanted to be here for the Zero Rhekōlb. We don't do them very often out in the Kistaelnrid, which, by the way, is he's from over here.
Ooh, he's not from home.
This is where so quick lore stuff. Kistaelnrid is the other human kingdom. It's not a kingdom anymore. It used to be a kingdom. So the Fonril live down here. The Norinel live over here. They were once one keystone people, but they had differences of opinion on things, and also they had been granted two different properties, essentially regions, when the War of the Breach was won as a gift. Essentially, they were gifted these lands that weren't really in use. So this one that was a little bit more sore for the Sharon in particular, because this used to be Sharon territory.
Would I feel any bad blood towards them or anything?
Well, him in particular, he's a Mopari.
Well, right.
So you don't really care.
Not
about
with
them.
him, but
with the Norinel, it'd be kind of it's like
a little icy.
Yeah, it's just it's the other people.
Yeah.
You would all get along with the guys here who live in the middle, the guys who came from the far shores, the Olsvak, the Koratanil, what's the other name, Pubrum. You guys would get along with them, but don't get along with each other super well. But so this region has a parliamentary system. Is how that works. So these guys are.
Oh, so we're real down to earth, and they're all kind of.
Yeah, these guys are they have now made very apparent that they have some sort of seat in the parliament of the Kistaelnrid.
Oh, okay.
So
they are.
For you, you're definitely hobnobbing.
Yeah.
You're probably fine.
You
deal with them. You deal with people of this ilk all the time.
He's reminding me why I spend so much time alone in my.
I'm very popular back home, I must have you know.
Sure you are.
I'm popular enough to be elected, mind you. And he's not actually saying these things, obviously. Popular enough to be elected.
Greece.
Can I just walk up to a nearby guard and be like, excuse me, sir,
Yeah, we'll say you made it to the Plaza District. Remember, they're still removing bodies from the plaza.
Right.
Sweet.
They're still trying to be as gentle as possible. Oh, you want to move?
Mage hand.
Oh.
Mage hand.
Mage hand.
I actually forgot they were on the map.
I just want to ask, excuse me, sir, real quick. Sorry, I don't want to disturb you. Do you know if there's been any reports from the guards who've surveyed the city of any strange magical runes being found around here?
Magical runes? I haven't seen anything.
Well, do you know if there's been any reports of such a thing?
I've been all over the plaza, and I haven't seen anything on surface level. What do you mean, runes?
Magical etchings, writing. Do you know if there's any way to get below ground near here?
Oh, well, I mean, there's pretty well-established sewers down below the Plaza District. There's an entrance near the wall that you can go down in there.
Can you point me in the right direction, please?
Yeah, it's over there.
Over there?
Under his feet.
He just points over here, sort of over there.
Let's get in the pudding water.
No, these are. You go down there it is not great. It is a sewer, but it's a well-established sewer in this part of the city. So it's there's walkways on either side. It's an archway over top of it. As far as this was one of the first parts outside of the plaza, outside of the royal
Can I give him
plateau.
Can I roll
I would like
athletics
to
to see if
definitely
I can
give him
slide
silver.
down the ladder?
Oh, thank you. Wow, that's mighty kind of you. You don't have to do that.
Did Melvin say that?
No. No, he's a good guy.
I would. Can I?
With your 22, you do get like
I don't have to
he
do this.
wanted to be in the city. I want to make that clear.
Yeah.
Right.
With the 22, which is a
There's
very good roll.
There's nothing
For
suspicious.
Melbim, he's like, we were lucky to not be here. Like, I wanted to be here. We got called away to the garrison
Right.
and got lucky.
Blessed and highly favored vibe.
I want to say
Yeah.
something to Melvin, but it's so confrontational, and I know Fitzroy would not do it.
I want to make sure I'm playing him right. I'm pretty sure.
So he's not like ostentatious. He's not
Oh, I
quite
should,
so.
like,
Melbim?
more votes.
No, he's Melbim. Since you got a 22 off of him,
Yeah.
he's like,
Tell me all.
Yeah, for 2020 for 22, the vibe you get off of Melbim is that like he is an important person. He is an important person. He knows he's an important person, but he's not. He doesn't look down on everybody just because they're there. You know,
He's confident in his place.
Yeah.
Without stepping
yeah.
on people.
He has responsibility. He knows he has responsibility.
Yeah.
But he doesn't degrade people who don't have that sort of responsibility.
Respect.
He's trouble.
Don't know. You're gonna get us. We're gonna have downvoted in the algorithm if you even mention that guy. Yeah. So
I don't
you.
even know who he's in.
Yeah, he said Melbim.
Yeah.
He said Melbim,
Don't
obviously.
mention
Right.
Melbim.
So you make your way down into the sewers, I guess, at this point. Then, let's see. How do we want to do this?
With preferably nose plugs.
Well, yeah, I went.
Everybody
No.
with Constitution.
Does anybody have thaumaturgy?
yeah, does any
No.
thaumaturgy would do
Wait,
it.
would the same thing that killed everyone have killed the bacteria down here?
No, the
Because
age.
the bodies don't smell.
Remember, there was the age.
Right.
Things were aged, so
Yeah.
technically the bacteria would
Be fine.
be dead.
But do we know that because it's medieval? We're like, oh,
Or it would be
safe to swim in now?
way worse.
you can drink it.
Yeah, we'll say that it's like slightly less rank than you would have expected. How about that? Slightly less rank than you would have expected.
Can I take some samples?
He was like
the
scraping the walls.
No, like from the water.
Sure,
Like
you
a
can
little
take
ladle.
some, you can take some samples.
Sure.
I'm not eating anything. He cooks.
I'm gonna add that to my inventory.
Sewer water.
Sewer samples.
Dual sample.
It might come in handy.
Listen, you gotta understand. This is like a rule. It's a Rouillon veneer thing.
Rub it in
Okay.
the wound.
He's the artificer. Give him to him. Spade. Here you go. Don't ask for it.
No,
guys.
he likes. He's not that kind of art. Actually, you are kind of
I am
that.
that kind of
You kind of are that kind of
I am that
artificer.
Hey, Melbin.
You,
I am that
Smell
guy.
my word, that's terrible.
It's for research.
Hold on, it's
Isn't that those
thaumaturgy. Is it thau?
Isn't
It's
that- it is
thaumaturgy that does the
The
that does
loud
this
voice.
that does the smells, right?
Yes.
Oh
I
no,
think that's minor illusion.
no.
No, it's thaumaturgy.
Oh no. Prestidigitation, you can do in odd order. So he's spamming prestidigitation. This is at least better than the rest of the app.
Was he
Spam it
just
under your
cleaning it?
nose?
Huh?
Is he just cleaning the air?
He gives himself a puff like out in front of him so that he can walk through a puff.
I would like to put puffs in front of everyone that's like faintly vanilla. But
Okay.
not him.
Question.
His is more sea breeze anyway.
Would I have anything that I could just like
Oh, just
rub under my nose?
it's just like some smelling salt sort of stuff. Sure. Yeah. You've got like I don't know. You
Like
have
a balm.
You've got like just like an oil, just like a flip, like a lilac oil. I don't know.
I'm doing fine because of the fall.
You're fine. Yeah. Like,
It smells like home.
smells right.
You waft away the
Smells
vanilla.
just right.
you
just
walk.
right.
Smells like some cow pie.
I could grow with this. I could grow with this. All right. Okay. Yes. So you guys investigate the sewers. Let's see. How do I want to do this? I'll just have you guys. We'll roll. Everybody roll an investigation check, and this will determine how long you're looking in the sewers.
Standard, that's a nat 20.
That's a 15.
25.
Okay.
6.
So with that, the nat 20 with a 6. Okay, it's group though. So nat 20, which is like a what?
Total is 25.
25. 6 total?
6 total.
Was that
I'm
not in that one though?
15.
15?
9.
9 total?
Can we say it's because of my twine?
And we'll let him get a roll in
it's
here.
a pure
What are
6.
we getting here? We're doing a reverse digression. Plus 3. 16. Okay, that'll be enough. Alright, so you guys are only down here for
7 days.
an hour essentially. You guys are making a pretty good grid search here underneath. You can kind of track where you are. Hold on, let me.
I'm assuming it's very dark down here.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, does anyone not have dark vision?
he doesn't have dark vision.
Okay. I just want to say, for him, I'm gonna... That is the thing I have, right? That's my artificer thing
And
right
I'm
now.
very tall. So,
Do I
like,
have that
how
reference?
tall are the sewers?
No, it's fine. You may have to crouch a little bit just because, like, you know, you are tall.
Does the
Right.
burst?
Remarkably tall.
Yeah. Yes.
You need to get your guy, Wyatt.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's sitting
so-
on my desk at home.
Xander,
At what?
I want to just take like a vial out.
Mhm.
It's a chem light.
Oh
and
yeah.
I hand it to him.
It's dim light within 10 feet.
Yeah. It helps though.
You won't fall in. You won't fall in.
Priorities.
We'll say
I can help with that.
with everything in there.
I appreciate it.
You get down to the sewers about here. You start kind of walking out towards. There's like you're walking in this sort of direction, right? As like a ray. You see as you walk in this direction a set of stairs going deeper down in, which was something. How many? Second time. That's 2. A set of stairs going deeper down below the sewers when you get more in this general area.
Interesting.
And he. Every now and then you do have to stop for him to put back up his detect magic because I believe what is. Hold on. How long?
I think it
does
lasts
take?
an hour.
Is it an hour?
Yes, sir. Most ritual spells last an hour.
Well, the ritual actually doesn't.
Well, not rituals. Sorry, I meant like
Standard cast.
like act like you know what I'm saying.
Like
Perceptive
Does
spells.
he not have
use
magic?
19%.
I
He
think
would have it in his book. So
I
you
could
don't have to
just
have,
be winging
he
it.
would have it in his spell book. I don't think I actually have it added to his list of prepared spells. But with rituals, I don't think they have to be prepared. Is that right?
No.
That's right. So rituals don't have to be prepared, so he would have had it anyways. So probably before you go down in the sewer, he kicks it back on. You spend about 10 minutes in the plaza. As you're like asking for directions, he pops it back up. Got another hour. Within that hour, you do find these stairs that descend down deeper. And as you go deeper, he's like, "I've got a bit of conjuration down below. This is promising." Is it? No, sorry, not conjuration.
I was about to say it's
Evocation.
a new one.
Bit of evocation.
Conjuration had me
And a bit of
concerned.
education.
Conjuration prepares crossbow.
Conjuration is not a category in
D&D.
D&D because evocation is conjuration.
Oh,
Yeah. It means that
that's
you're
good to know.
Evoking.
you're evoking something as opposed to conjuring it.
Right.
But it is all the same. So
But it's not
Instead of being created, it's
necessarily a creature.
coming- no, just coming from somewhere as opposed to.
it's the same for like fire. Like you're evoking fire. So
Right.
fire spells are all an evocation.
Right.
It's
Okay.
I was wrong.
that's how it works. Let me put a bottom on this one here. Bottom.
Ooh.
Oh,
As
there's
you
another
get
one.
lower, you find this one.
Take a gander here.
Do the goopity
Can I
gop
see the
again.
other one, please?
Yes.
Mage hand.
Mage hand.
Mage hand.
That's a new way of asking to pass things. Mage hand.
So that goes like that.
You've got bottoms on both
Can I
of
get a
them.
mage hand up in here?
Trying to find the two letters you pointed out that orientated it.
Yeah.
Church.
Could I get a mage hand?
Hold on, let me track it on the map here. So we go to this Y. This one is a little bit hard to locate.
That correlates. I just get it by accident. I think I did.
Yeah.
Also, these.
But
Now
what?
you have two
What, man?
on the side. You could use your strain to then just trace a circle.
Very, very small.
Now talk about it.
Talk through it. What are you doing?
Okay,
So
you do yours first.
Alright, Very simple, really. You see these two letters here. They kind of signify. They only occur once within the script, right? So I think that can help us orientate it to know which way is which. So presumably this is the bottom. So you just go ahead and give that a read. Read.
It's the same.
It's that's.
I mean, you can just look at it. It's all the same letters.
So we at least know. We know that the rune is in that orientation.
Yes, no, it certainly looks like the outer rings are the same on both. I do agree with that. I can't make harden.
We only made out the middle ring, though, correct?
We only made out your ring, yeah.
Could you magic folks be able to tell, like, is this done? Is something active? Or, you know...
I'd imagine
Does it smell of magic?
I mean, it is very, very faint. I would say it's more lingering than active at this point, just with the
It's like
detecting it here.
It's like when you make breakfast in the morning, you can still smell it when you have lunch. It's like that.
I would say it's more of a stain. That's how it feels. Like I'm the one detecting it, so I would know better. I'd say this is more of a stain than anything else. It's slowly fading.
I question none of your expertise. I just am wondering.
Stain, certainly. All right, so we're back, and from how we've seen it, the stairs lead down from here. So we now have 2 points.
Now,
That's very interesting.
if we take 2 points, we can then, from here, take the line around, and we will have a line on which more runes may be discovered.
That is true.
Now that we have the edge and a middle point.
All right, you do that. I'm not going to actually mark the map.
Or we could find another one.
Do we have
Wait,
reason
which
to
one are you
know
using to
that,
do that?
That's a middle point? Or do we just saying that because it's kind of the
It's
middle?
a circle.
Oh no, I think this is the other end. This isn't the middle. Why on earth would this be the middle?
That's what
It was the entire city.
Well, no, this rune is no different than that one. So why would this be?
Well, maybe you should show the guy who knows runes what the runes look like.
Hey, Mr. Rune Man, Biolan, take a look at these.
Hi, yes. Actually, now that I have 2, would I be able to make something of it?
Nothing.
So this rune, the new rune, actually strikes you as odd.
No. Do I get to roll something?
Take my 20 back.
You can roll Arcana on this.
I'm bad at that.
No,
I'm
you
not
can
bad.
assist.
I'm just not good at it.
No, you can't. You can't assist. What did I say?
Can
you
I
could
do
for
like a
this?
history though, or is history the one I mean?
Do you have proficiency in
Do you mean
history?
nature?
I would give you advantage on this if you don't have proficiency in Arcana.
I don't have proficiency in anything
We'll
intelligence.
see.
Let me just pull up what you actually are good at.
You let him roll nature on the last one.
I don't have.
I
any
let him roll.
bonus
Okay, that's what I
either.
did. Yeah, I let you roll nature on the last one.
Oh, wait.
Because I think we
Is that
were-
better?
I can do the nature.
I really hope I remember
That
the first
I have
episode
proficiency.
I did something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's different for you.
Yeah, I get no bonus on any intelligence, but since I have the proficiency, 12. 19.
Yeah, so this one's weird. This one is weird. You've never seen a rune like this. Runes aren't typically a closed loop. You've never seen a rune that's a closed loop.
I've never seen. So, sorry. From what my Pajo? What my Pajo does, it did. Anyways, I'm somewhat familiar with some of these runes, and hang on, I'm kind of sliding into British.
It infects all of
I'm
us.
trapped.
The power's too strong.
Well, my Pajo,
creepy, man.
I'm kind of shocked. I've never seen a rune that's closed in a loop like this. Normally they're kind of open on one end.
Like that.
Yeah, so
As I make fun of your accent.
if we look at the if we look at this first one, you see how it's got that open end. You know, you can't just keep drawing over it forever. But this one, you know what I'm saying?
The lines connect. They would come back to each other.
Yeah.
I believe what you're saying. It's a loop.
Perhaps.
Do you know what it
similar-
means?
No.
Wait, I might be crazy
What?
here, but I'm just
I got the
now.
impression it does.
No, you don't.
I'm just now noticing both of these. Their first ring isn't entirely circular. It has points.
Is
This you would know. That's just
if I had more of these, would it be all of a sudden like, oh, these runes collectively would do thing?
maybe.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Maybe.
My
Everything
thought
is possible.
what if each of these lines, starting from a center, was a rune within the city?
Ooh, hang on.
Well, you would know that this is just how you like essentially write a name.
That would be a name.
By
Yeah,
ringing
this
it?
runes are written if you're
Like,
if you're
it is a
identifying.
symbol.
Yeah, you would write a rune like
Like
this. This is how
a
you-
rune has a name.
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Like Old English.
So
runes
this whole
do.
system would be considered a rune for you.
But I don't recognize this rune.
But the 10 points is interesting for you. You are right.
Can I do another check for
This is a different thing, yeah. So
also nature, maybe?
I mean, what'd you roll? This is all the
A
same
19?
This is all the same conversation. You would know that like 10 is a very important number for the runic system.
Oh.
That there are, from what you all have pieced together from your lack of knowledge, there are 10 starting points in a rune. And that runes typically go to 5 different points. Is usually how it works. I mean, because you can
yes,
put it
I
together.
see.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Right.
5. This one is also technically 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's a closed system, which is not something that typically occurs, or that you've ever seen occur.
Well, so from my culture that was lost before the times, what you do is with these 10 points, these sides, you can make the runes by drawing them around, and with that you can form different runes. But
But you don't recognize.
I don't
you
know
don't
what
recognize
it
either of
means.
these.
No.
Okay.
And that's part of what was kind of lost.
I do see what is this rune on your attire here, though.
Right here?
Yeah,
What would that mean?
that's your name.
That's my name.
your
Oh, well, that's my name.
that's your name.
Yes.
Bjolon.
Yes, sir.
What does Bjolon mean? Something for runes? That's not in there because we established it after that was written. I believe
Sure.
it means hope, right?
Oh, yes. Well, my name means hope.
Hope.
Yes.
Rather. Okay, that's lovely.
Well, you know, my parents they were a wee bit
he get
older,
elected?
and they weren't really expecting to have any kids, and they were sort of lucky to have me.
Yes, like I said, lovely.
Yeah, thank
The-
you.
the
Thank you.
background just makes it all the better. Oh shucks! Oh shucks, Paul!
What paints?
From the two,
Jackson.
from the two,
Can you pull up my picture? What is
Man, I
let
should've-
me pull up the rune.
Yeah.
Let me pull. Yeah, pull up the rune. I sent it.
Got
to
it.
you.
Got it.
from the
We'll
two,
show you what he has. He is wearing a rune on here. It's I probably should have explained that earlier. It's not on
It's
there
not
because I
actually
can't.
on there,
I can't. Yeah, I can't actually make it
Yeah, I
on.
don't think
on
Hero
that.
Forge
That would be
Just a little
so
plate there.
impressive.
But if you look at if you're watching on our Substack, you can see that his player icon has like
this
the
is
top
my name.
has the top bit. That is his. That's Bjolong.
Beautiful.
But as you can see, neither of those are this.
Oh, we're telescreening.
There, wait.
Oh
the
boy!
glare,
Wow!
hang
Look at
on.
that. Yes, it's also slightly present on his emblem on his player card. You can just see that, but it doesn't show the full circle, so you can't see the full thing. But it's on there. Anyway, by the way, for those player portraits, you could thank this guy's sister Emily. She put those together for us. So shout out to Emily. Thank you very much. She will be. I don't know why. I guess I'm doing your accent now for Emily.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to be helping us out with the artwork going forward. So be on the lookout for those really neato player background videos because we're going to have all sorts of fun stuff on that when they do occur. Anyway, we'll get back into the game now.
Yes.
You've now seen what his name looks like. It's on his as you can see on his little player emblem, which are a little custom mini He's got that little thing there. Right there on his... Oh, no, can't see it. I'll get a better picture of it on there. But he's got a little circle on his chest, and that's where his little logo is. His little Biolon logo.
The 2 runes we found were located within the lower part, like... We've located beneath the city.
Subterranean sections of the city.
I think we could assume we're going to find the other ones below the city as well.
That's a fair deduction. Let me actually think that for a moment. Boy, I'm
May
rolling
I?
very well as this
That's
character.
fine.
As a matter of fact, I've been sort of tracking this, and
Just kind of.
it's a bit hard, but with that roll of getting a 21 in total, I would say that we're probably at the same depth below where we were before now. Because as you can see, we're sort of like, this isn't the bottom of this section. We've sort of hit an alcove off to the side where it's been carved into the floor. So I would say that we would need to look at things at this particular level throughout the city, wherever we might be.
Upanor and
How old is
Vesemir in the
how
car.
old is the city supposed to be?
Rejlaz Rhekōlb?
Yeah.
How old is Rejlaz Rhekōlb?
Like, is it old enough to be?
Oh, you
I think I asked this last episode as well, but in the last session, is this old enough to have been built up?
That is
You
not
know,
a
So
kind
this-
of old city, new city kind of building.
I mean, there's bits of it that are. So this would be the oldest still standing portion of the city would be the Royal Plateau. This was the first wall that was built in the city's history. You know this because you took history classes on your culture's history. Makes sense. So you would know that this is the oldest portion of the city, but as it grew out from here, it was settled here with people who worked in the temple grounds.
Right.
So this would have been second established. It got out to the place where it is, and there's some outer buildings that aren't on this map, so you would know that this map is a little old. Like, this map is a tiny bit dated, because it's extended out with just sort of... Well, they were kind of all destroyed in this event, but there would be wreckage outside of the city walls of just regular houses that kind of extend down the hillside to the Strait of Tejon or whatever.
These boys are working their science.
Don't worry, we're in the
Are we
corner
going?
of the
Where are we
sewer.
going?
I think
Well, look.
I would guess. Yeah, look, this is the
Very
middle.
Yeah. Here's your middle.
And
You
swing.
want to go straight. What are you trying to do? Straight across?
Yeah, I think here.
I think I would go here.
The problem is we have to do that distance.
Go it from the middle, right?
So
From,
yeah.
from that room.
Tell me when to stop.
Just keep going in one. So that dice is pretty accurate.
Yeah. So
Assuming
what shape are you trying to make?
Trying to make
The circle.
He just started putting
the decade.
I think we got
I think we should
Try to
recreate the room with these points.
Okay, so
Oh, you mean?
So 10 points equidistant.
Oh, this part.
Right, yeah.
all right. So then straight across is one then. Yes.
Yes.
Straight across.
They're not decade. They're decagon.
But, so somewhere roughly around...
Try to make it straight.
here-ish. By the wall? Well, the distance is the hard part. Can we...
Let's
Fold
see.
that over.
Let me actually just put it here. I'll help you out. All right. So there, we've got it there.
Oh, we lost the point.
Oh yeah, we did lose the point, didn't we? Try it again.
I'm confused. You do.
Tie a knot, eh? Ah, tie a knot, eh?
Oh, that's smart.
Sorry, I shouldn't have come up with that idea. Sometimes they're just good with ideas and know what to do them. You know what I mean?
To be fair, his character probably would come up with that idea.
Listen, I'm a very smart individual. I was elected to be one.
Somehow.
You really like mentioning that, don't you?
He's not actually mentioning it.
So
Okay,
we need
so-
to put the equidistant.
So straight
Oh,
across.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 2 more markers.
Yep. There you go.
The giant bag of dice.
Well, okay, then give me my 20 back, by the way. That's the only one I need. Alright, so these equidistant roughly.
For now.
Is that the thing?
And actually, so this would... Okay, let me help you out here because this would actually be very easy because the runes are about the size of this map. So you'd be able to almost place the rune on top of here. And I can just go ahead and mark the spots on it. You came up with that idea. That's a good idea.
Thank goodness I had twine in my pocket.
So we'll stick one there.
Hey, real quick, add that to your.
Oh, no, don't take them. I'm going to put them back on here. Oh, no, you're right. Let me just go ahead and mark them.
With the
Don't look at that! Don't look at that! Don't look at that!
pay no attention to the man.
And talk about things while I'm doing that.
In character or just like life?
Whatever you want to
Hey,
do.
I'm not been kind of pestering you about your pants, but I am.
What about his pants? What about his pants?
I think they look fine.
That's a fun.
We've murdered him.
The audio just
Your
peaked.
parents.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about them.
Yeah. So what was the title of my?
They were alive?
They seem to be a great deal here.
Well, you see, my Pajo, he was one of the Kyorba, and Kyorba,
Baj.
Kyorbaj.
Kyorbaj.
The
J is a J.
Kyorbaj, and
Is that some kind of official?
yeah, so he kind of represented our little town, and which
That's
was
him being a steward, though.
what
That's him being a steward. The Kyorbaj is something else.
is it? Okay,
Kyorbaj is the rune stuff.
I thought it was both effectively.
Yeah, but one is not directly equivalent to the other.
Okay. He was essentially the steward for our town, and that's actually how they got invited to the king's party, and they didn't get to come this way much. You know, we're just a little locked town, but I grew up on their farm. You know, we raised some animals. I was a bit of a.
It does stink down here, doesn't it?
Well, it doesn't bother me too much, but you know, like I said, I grew up around the animals, and you develop a pretty strong nose after all that time, right? But ever since I was young, of course, my parents, they were just so excited to have me, and they gave me a lot of responsibility, but a lot of freedom too. You know, they were good parents.
Oh, wrong.
And my Pajo, he taught me a lot of stuff, and I really became quite the outdoorsman, and ended up doing lots of little outings on my own, and really taught me a lot, being the locked town and the commerce, and being out and being, you know, in nature and everything. Sort of just toughened me up. I know I'm still young, especially compared to some of your races. The Fonro are just not as, you know, not nearly as long living.
It is a tragedy of your kind that you live so short.
I appreciate it, but I suppose, you know, we're such a hardy people that at some point you gotta find your trade-offs in life, I guess. You know.
From experience, I do know that, well, your particular history I'm not as familiar with, but the Mopari know quite well that I'll use the preferred nomenclature of Allsvark. Have not always been treated quite well in the far shores, to put it kindly. Well, nothing was put kindly to them in the far shores, but you understand what I mean.
Yes. We, you know, we were built for a purpose.
That is true.
We, you know,
Ferocious fighters.
I can't really speak to the full history of it. You know, I'm not as learned as some, but you know, when the breach, what was the name of it? The breach? You know, back when the breach did happen, I know that when our people's arrival really made quite the difference with everything that was going on at that time, and you know, it's hard to know what would have happened otherwise, but it seemed decisive upon our arrival. We really shifted that tide. But no, my folks, they were good, humble folk. They they kept busy. Kindness to all kinds of people in our community. Very generous. In times of shortcomings in the season, they took care of everybody, treated them like family, and so we're probably overall a little bit of an older community as well, but I suppose that gave me lots of opportunity to pick up on some wisdom. So how about you? I suppose you guys have seen some things.
Well, me, my family's just a bunch of fletchers. You all probably haven't really seen our work. It doesn't really get that far out. But around where I'm from, it's pretty well known. High quality. So.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, we have a
low reputation.
Yeah, we've quite the repute. So, yeah, have a wife and daughter back home.
Oh yeah.
So.
Are you?
What is that?
It's called role playing. It's called role playing.
It's great.
We're just in the corner having a smoke break.
Yeah.
This is the walk and talk. You guys are walking to, I would say probably, which one would you hit next?
Hopefully the sewers are not combustible.
Based on the layout of the city,
just wanna
would
go
there be sewers that would allow us to sort of get around well?
Do you want to try to walk the whole city in the sewers?
Like
I
I
think
said,
Melbim would
I
reject.
might say
You develop
we should
quite the
probably
strong
go
nose.
back up and then travel in a less foul
we're
environment.
going for a targeted approach.
Which one would you like to go to next?
Please never do that again.
Maybe we just go over there and start going clockwise.
That's what I feel might be best as well. Keep things nice and orderly.
I will say that this one will probably be a little difficult to get to.
That's
because it is
save
on-
that one for last.
I will, we'll have to see because there are, like I said, there are tunnels that run underneath underneath the wall. So possibly we could find a place that pops back up on
I mean,
this
wouldn't be
side,
that
and
hard.
probably
we just
actually.
have to get in
Can we
the
take
wall,
the wall?
and then walk around.
Well, there's no.
And there should be a tunnel in the wall that would go down to there.
I mean, there might be a land bridge here. There's probably something on this side, don't you think? Probably.
I mean, I would hope.
At least
there's
this
not a
one would
hole in
come
the
down
wall.
onto the
I can
land.
get us across the water.
Well,
it won't
actually,
be
I would
comfortable,
almost
but I can do
wonder if
it.
there would be an overflow, right?
I can conjure a disc.
it's all in
stand
here.
on. It's-
Toss me.
I don't think you'll make it.
So which one are you going? So we're heading
I think-
back to which one?
That one.
Over this one? Okay. Well then, you make your way over there fine. That one's not, this one is actually underneath the wall. So, here you go. I'll let you.
It's the same script. I like doing the puzzle, figuring out what the bottom is. That's the bottom. So
You can write bottom on there. On the back of it.
Okay.
With the pen.
I'm just
He's
gonna
got a
put
pen.
I'm just gonna put a dot. This is the bottom. Right? Yes.
Good little star.
I'm fairly certain. I'm 90 yes. No doubt.
Okay, and then you're going clockwise from there.
Yeah.
Do that. That looks very similar to the one we found in the middle.
Are we
Is that-
orienting them a certain
But
way?
broken.
No.
We can point the bottoms this way. Is there a compass rose on this map?
Bottoms
From the
up.
way that this is set up, it is
This is
due
south.
north and south. It
Okay,
is
so
it is
we'll
set up appropriate
Face
to
the
how
bottom
it is
southward.
typically oriented.
That's not the bottom.
So
where's
this
the
is
bottom?
fine.
Bottom south.
This is fine. You don't recognize that one either? The answer is no. Sorry, the answer is no. You don't recognize that one either.
Well, I just think it's interesting that it's similar.
Nah, you're just throwing insults.
I need to make sure that I'm not doing accents when I'm not actually doing
We're gonna
accents.
find out like somebody traveled to the city. Some baddie.
Here's the next
So-
one. Over there.
The BBEG.
As we're walking, we're finding
Big
these.
BBEG.
Something that's occurring to me
bag,
is
full
if
bag.
these were all done by hand, somebody had to go all across this city and find their way down underneath it in some sort of way.
I think it was an individual that
I'm
did all these.
proposing if it was, you think somebody might notice.
I would hope so. It would seem rather lax in security if no one noticed.
Any
That's a traitor. You'll make
any fun rule of cults that
Inside jump.
It's a trap.
So I think-
Fun rule courts.
yeah, that would be like, oh, the old
I guess
times.
Admiral said that.
Well,
wanna
So in
join
the
a
history
Fonrel
of the history of this region, in the history of the Fonrel Kingdom, there is like an antagonistic section that was basically stamped out. I mean, there's a disagreement in this line of succession way back. This would be in your backstory a little bit. The free lands, I think is what I called it. That there were some lords who rose up against the king back when before the Pellar was built. That's the canal that was built. That rebelled. They were then dispossessed of their holdings, and then I think I wrote it in there. Oh,
I'm looking real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking at the moons. It's much easier to tell when you look at those.
Yes.
That one needs to be rotated as well.
I mean, this is the bottom. How are you orienting them?
Bottom this way.
Bottom that way. Okay.
Yeah, southward. North that way.
That one's not right.
The language
Then.
is Linger. That's Irish.
Wait, yeah. Yes, there are the Ludum and the Saharan?
Shara.
The Sharan languages are very dependent upon the lunar cycle, yes.
Well, being
Interesting.
of extracted origin, you would know that the patrons of the Sharan are Furun and Turin, who are one of the domains is the sun and moon, respectively. So their language is very much based off of that. Pashrul being the patron of eclipses and general chaos and mayhem. Okay, and we're into that way, so you move to the next one. That one also you have no issues with. I probably should put these in. Well, you just decided the order, so. I'd rotate it 90 degrees, the other 90 degrees.
Okay, I got it.
180. If you're orienting with that being the bottom, then that would be accurate for that one. That one you still don't recognize. So,
Then what is your name?
but this next one,
The chosen.
Oh, what do you know?
What I want to know is what they all look
Who
like
is-
when I stack them together.
Looks like a bunch of gobbledygook.
It is script.
It looks like a bunch of
cipher?
stacked runes. This next one, though, I'll put it down in proper orientation. This one you do recognize.
Which one of us?
The only one who knows anything about runes.
Do I roll, or do I just recognize it?
This one you just recognize.
It's your dad.
Wait, it's not my name, right?
No, it's not your name. It's not your name.
man.
But that one to you would mean mercy.
Oh, okay.
It's part of your
Curbage.
training. That is one of the runes that you would use.
Okay, so this is the first one that I know what it means. This one, in particular, is mercy. You can kind of see the similarities in the symbols.
Isn't that the... I'm just going to use the word Paul part of the city?
I believe that's the... Oh, what am I at? That is the Straits. It is a lower income portion of the city. The true
I just didn't know if this...
disadvantaged portion would be the low end over here.
Okay.
But the Straits are lower
I don't know
income,
if the
smaller
locations of the
accommodations.
runes have anything to do with the actual runes themselves.
It's a possibility. Yeah, but
The message, per se, within the runes and the location.
all right. Let me continue to throw these out there. Anybody have anything to say? Any questions? Anything you want to do? No. You just want to get the rest of them out?
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
I never looted.
Nothing jumping out.
Why you gotta make him go?
So this little moon little thing pointing down.
Okay.
So that's right, actually.
No, it's not. It's one more over.
This way?
No, other way.
Keep
Wow, that's right,
going, keep going,
That one.
keep...
That's it.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
That one's very
It's
similar.
these two letters, but the moons are easier to tell.
Their vowels are they have two different vowel sounds for each vowel. Don't worry about it. It is just the moon rotating
Leave that in. That's a great
50%.
That's a great game.
Don't worry. You don't need to. Well, you would know.
Don't worry, okay.
You would know. Okay, so they have when you write their language in the in Plainspeak is the general language that you all are speaking most of the time. That's the common tongue that has been constructed after the breach. When you write Sharon language in Plainspeak, you use the A. Just Plainspeak is general English alphabet. So they have two different A sounds that they use, and when you look at the moons, they're the same moon flipped 180 degrees. So, yes, those would look very similar because this is probably the same letter as that, but the opposite pronunciation. Anyway, this next one, however, you look at where it should be. You arrive where it should be, but it seems to have collapsed. The stairway down to where you would expect it to be has collapsed.
Could you shout
In
us
what
out,
way?
boys?
Let's get some.
In what way?
In what way has it collapsed? Like, is it like the tunnel is completely collapsed,
Yeah.
or is the stairwell?
Oh, so
broken?
we're not climbing down with ropes.
No.
It's
This
caved in.
this is all. Yeah, it is caved in. That's a better way to put it. It is
I wanna
caved in.
ask,
down
is
there.
there another way to get to the opposite side of this cave-in from a different entrance?
They're quite. I mean, most of these are through and throughs. So we're down in the low end. So this is pretty much where the sewer is. We didn't have to go any lower, and it seems to be caved in on this side. We can check the other side, and you do, and it is caved in that way as well.
So it's just completely collapsed.
Yeah, it seems that you cannot access that area.
Melbim, do you still have Sorry.
As he says explosives, my eyes.
Melbim, do you still have? Are you still?
I don't know if I
sensing,
want to disrupt a previously collapsed place with additional destruction.
Are you still detecting magic?
And once we mapped them out, I had dropped it because I didn't feel like taking the 10 minutes every hour.
You said you knew how far down they were. Is it further than 60 feet down?
Further than 60 feet down. Up at the capital, up at the palace, I'm sure it was. Here, it's much less. It's basically just below the streets.
Alright, I'm gonna try something. Can I don't know how this would work. I want to try and cast Unseen Servant on the other side of the collapse.
Can you see through an unseen servant?
Can I what?
Can
you visually see through the unseen servant's eyes?
No, I was gonna have it draw a sketch and bring it back.
Ah!
Yeah.
Okay.
How would it bring it back if it's collapsed?
I'm hoping there's like a
Well,
gap.
he would. It's an unseen. What is the verbiage? Like, do you have to see where it's going?
It is a medium. Well, I can just give it a command, so I can say go
And
find.
it's
the room.
incorporeal, so it can just pass through.
I don't think it's incorporeal. It
I
says
mean,
medium size. Oh, medium force.
Right, but it doesn't have
a body.
A body.
yeah, it doesn't have.
Oh yeah,
defined
mindless, shapeless. Okay, yeah. So it could like shape through.
form. Hold on, let me.
We use the page.
So it is a being of like physical force. So the force can like meld to.
Don't worry about that. I can actually do this a bit better, I believe. And he goes ahead and concentrates.
I cast fireball. Actually.
We attack him.
He reaches into his bag, reaches his whole arm, and pulls out a bit of something or another, and he's like, blah 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 blah.
I hate that.
And
You're so kind saving me this.
covers his
I mean
eye.
the energy.
he covers his eye, and
Big.
and he just concentrates. He's like, all right, let's see what we have over here.
No more eye for you.
It doesn't have dark vision when you go over there. That's the question. Ah, it does have dark vision out to 30 feet. Okay. All right. Oh my. There's someone in there. Dead, of course. That's interesting.
We need to get in there. There might be
Are
information
they-
on the corpse.
But do they look like the people from the streets?
Yeah, they look like a common folk. Do they look
Let me
shadier?
get a little closer.
I was
Just
thinking
a
more
moment.
disintegrated.
More like
Did his eyes burn out of his skull? Sorry.
The runes destroyed as well. Certainly, it's. This.
Does it look like question? Does it look like the focal point of the rune getting damaged was like the explosion that collapsed the area? Like was the
I would say
magic
that's a-
released from that spot, which then caused all the damage and killed the fellow on the ground?
I would say it's It's hard to say which would be which, but it is.
Because the
The only reason I know that it's a rune is because I can see because there is a circular deformation in
the
the
damage
ground.
here is different than the damage in the other areas.
Which other areas?
Everywhere.
Like
outside. It is the only reason I would know that there'd be a rune here is that we know there should be a rune here. It is sort of how to describe it. It is circular. It is an explosion, sort of. It's not scorched, but it has been rather messed up by whatever happened. And the fellow is quite a ways away from the rune. It's hard to say.
Can you see any way into that area from outside?
Looks
Like
around.
a grate or
Perhaps we have a man.
No, this seems to
any
be.
passages that aren't collapsed all the way?
It's straight through and through. We're sort of at the end of from what I can tell, any kind of like moving up through the surface of the ground here, and we're underneath a building here. So there's
could there be a way?
There's
What
nothing.
building is it? There might be a way in through the building.
I mean, the building that's above us, whatever it is, some sort of shop, maybe. What is it? What is this? Oh,
My sticky
wait, no,
fingers are
we're here.
tingling.
Some sort of stable yard. In this particular place, you can see there's world equivalent of a windmill. It doesn't work quite the same way. It rotates horizontally and has a cool whatever. Don't worry about it. It's one of the. It's a one
Can
of
you
the.
put together and make a short out of every time you're over explaining something? You're like, what? It doesn't
No,
matter.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's one of the rule. It's one of the ruleon that actually was very important to establishing the main house from the Autumn Hilllands. Deep lore stuff. Pre Great Schism stuff. Just pre Great Schism stuff. But this is a field with a windmill in it, and this is a stable yard that's directly above us, where there are some of the animals of burden who had been used in the stockyard.
Animals of burden
essentially.
are no longer burdened.
Those, I agree, that is true. But
They have been unburdened.
unburned by what has been. I mean, you can see it. You won't be able to read them. It is.
Wait, I do have a question.
Yes.
Is it a man, or is it just burnt?
It's not burnt. It's very similar to the rest of.
Because my
what
question
occurred here,
is,
but
is he aged?
he's aged.
Like everyone else has
he has aged, but he's been broken. So something happened to this
Very
individual.
forceful.
Yes. So something
He's
occurred
crunched.
to him. He has, from what I can tell, it seems that he has been. He only rolled an 11. So like he can see what's in there. He is away from where the rune would be.
So it's like he got blasted back from the rune?
That would make more sense.
So my
yes.
original assumption where the rune had, let's just say, had a catastrophic issue, that it detonated, blasting him back, killing him, assumably, and then also causing the damage with the collapse.
That sounds rather sound to me. As
Okay,
far as
so-
logical progression.
My one concern would be that this guy was a minion, or whoever was putting these runes around here. He might have information on his body that might lead to more knowledge about who actually did this.
If there's any information, it turns to dust, probably. If I'm not
Parchments
mistaken.
is it
the books
anything-
were damaged, weren't they?
Well, I mean, just
Damaged?
look around at the bodies. They don't have anything left on them.
Is he? Also, are his gauntlets intact?
It's threadbare like the rest of them. You know,
Got
sort
it.
of like, yeah.
In the ground for a long time. Fabric.
I mean, open
Desiccated.
air, yeah.
Are there,
Desiccated, sort of.
Are there any tools around? Anything one might use to etch into stone?
Sorry, what was that question?
Are there any tools?
Tools.
A chisel, perhaps?
Not that I can see.
But
But I don't know if those would hold up as well as air.
So,
Yeah.
when you cannot, there's not clearly a way into the chamber.
Maybe we could.
Not that I can see now.
Why did we want to get in, anyways? mean, there's nothing left in the
Information.
body.
Well,
and
we
the
know
room's
it's
not
here,
there.
Maybe
and
we
no one's getting in and no one's getting out.
Maybe we
Obviously.
get the other rooms,
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
and then
Let's-
we'll have a more clear picture.
I agree. We should move on.
All right.
We can only do so much.
But
for now.
hey, are you able to make a physical note of what we've discovered in there, in case something might happen? Notate what we found in the. Notate what you found. Yes.
Where?
We make the notes.
What do I
We're
want on what, the
actively
map?
making notes already.
Where do you want me to make a note?
Do you have any parchment that you might be able to take note of what you saw
Oh.
inside that area?
Yes, when we get back, I'll have my full quarters and I'll be able to make a note.
In case anyone who did this might come back to cover up information.
There's nothing really to cover up down there.
Hold on, let me make sure these two kind of some work.
You may have.
Alright, you come over to the next one. It is this guy here. And I would let you, and then we'll just say that you get around to the last two without issue.
Even the one that's waterlogged?
Yeah, there's a path down from that one. There you go. We've got all.
That one.
Did I recognize any more of these?
The only one that you recognized for sure is that one up
Mercy.
there. Oh shoot! I should have made a better note of that. I can go look at it again, but actually, let me see if I can grab it. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Did I take it back in there? Shoot, I did. Could you grab my? Could you slide the window that's open in there onto this one, so I can see it? And don't you look at it.
Do it, but don't look.
He doesn't take good note. He doesn't remember things of that sort exactly. No, don't. Just bring my mouth. Just bring it. Rub it. Move it over that.
What
No,
song is
what?
that
You
again?
didn't move the window over to this one.
That's what I'm trying to do.
You grab the top of it, move it to the left of the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're on that screen, and move it over here. The one with all the runes on it.
No, do I need to minimize it?
Yeah, you should just be able to grab on the top bar and move it over. But if you need to make it a partial screen, that's fine. Riveting content right now.
Yeah, but
Riveting
this is-
content.
You know, you're here for the jank.
So, anyways, about my family now.
About mine? I'll just go. Never mind. I'll come just look at it.
Oh.
No, I am. I can do the voice right now.
Why did I make it small?
With the
Don't worry about it.
the cataclysm still seemed to have happened intentionally, the way it was supposed to. It's not like there's that one section of the city that wasn't destroyed.
Right.
So in theory, I don't
But it
know, I
does
don't know
almost
much
seem
about the
like-
magics and whatnot as much as you two do.
This is beyond my depth.
I'm assuming a giant rune circle needs all the runes in the circle to work.
Perhaps, now, runes are out of my depth. I don't entirely know this here, but maybe there wasn't supposed to be a destruction. Maybe this was supposed to do
I think the
something else.
cataclysm was an
And
accident.
when that rune failed somehow and exploded,
Just gonna. Well, that phrase wouldn't exist here.
don't judge me. I'm not judging at all. I'm
For
jealous.
those of you who don't know, Will has a giant plate of pudding.
Eating it with a fork as well.
It's very good pudding. Very
It
good
is
pudding.
really good.
Dwarven man.
Dwarven pudding. Extra caffeinated. For staying awake deep in the mines. I would get more, but I'm so full.
There's no pattern here, right? It's just
Runes. But again,
but there's no clear sequence from one to the next.
Yeah, I was trying to think of
Because like to fill that.
what we need to do
you know,
now,
does
now that we
one
have
draw
more data
to
points.
another.
Okay, I'm gonna go back on the voice. What we need to do now that we have more data points, we need to. We've deciphered the second ring. Now that we have more data, we might be able to decipher the outer ring. And that will give us more information. Do you remember what the middle one said? Because I don't.
No, you're mistaken. The middle one is what we have.
The middle one we have, but the outer one.
The outer one, right.
We don't have...
The problem is, right, because my family, the Erudfin, right, we are blessed with language, right, written language, and we shared it exclusively.
These are the ones you know.
With certain powerful families throughout in the Legudum. The problem was, after so much time, people started to use their own alphabets so that only people they wanted to read it could read it. And so now there's so many different types of vowels that could be there. I don't know which family, which alphabet this is calling upon. So I can read this, but I don't know what letters to use, and then therefore, presumably, if it's going to do the same as the other, it won't sound right.
You can write over that.
It won't come out as a
I sort of did it quickly.
Yes.
I can just blindly guess if you like it.
As if you
what
had
letters, what vowels it could be.
Just understand, like if you had a sentence, and then you just erase the letters.
Yeah, like if you just started switching around all the vowels in
Like a cipher. Like a cipher.
kind of, but without an answer.
Yeah. So
So
without
what I'm hearing is we need a key.
without the vowel sounds, it would be like n p t m sh p sh k l k d l.
I have no idea what it is.
M f t. He can only
It's
read
yogurt clearing his throat.
He can only read the consonants. Is what's happening. He can only read the consonants. So you can't understand
I don't
something
know.
without vowels in it.
If you'll let me do this.
Okay, go ahead. Sure.
Knowing my knowledge of the different houses and the alphabets that
All right,
they
yeah,
have.
this was gonna be hard.
Yes.
Go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
Well, I was
Or
gonna guess.
history.
Can I use an educated guess on what house would be most correlated to this sort of thing?
the
magic root.
the K. Yeah, I'll let you search your knowledge. Let you search your mind palace.
So
What's your best one? Is it history or investigation?
they're both +5.
Okay, we'll do history just so it's not investigation.
Yeah.
Well, this would be more history than
20,
investigation.
Can I get
anyways.
inspiration for the twine thing? No, I'm just kidding. That's 19.
19. Okay.
I thought it looked like
I don't know if 9. You would know the region that it's from, because the K is a big. It would be a big clue for you, because that means that this is somebody. This would be a family that was involved with the Mosarn. But so that's going to regionalize it pretty well to somebody in this southern area, basically,
Gotcha.
kind of
Where I'm
where.
from.
Well, yes, where you
Around.
live.
Yeah.
So it will be somebody in the area, maybe southern down here.
Is that
But even then, that's going to be, there's a couple different houses that would work there.
this is kind of brute forcing it, but can I just try each of them and see if he recognizes it?
Now, the question is, can you recall off the top of your head what those family alphabets would be? With the 19, I don't think a 19 is good enough, because this is tough stuff. You would have to reference materials. Like, you would know where to look if you were in the towers.
Gotcha.
You could figure it out if you were back home. You could definitely do
Guys, give me a minute. I'll be right back.
That's not how this world works.
3 months later.
Basically.
It's like some
Because he'd have
Gandalf
yeah.
stuff.
But you could go figure it out if you were in the towers.
Can I cast Catapult to send a letter?
Catapult's only 90 feet, so no.
What if it's just up?
And then
Make a flare.
make a really fancy paper
Do you
airplane, catapult
do you
it.
include anybody else in this mental
Oh, I'm
conversation?
thinking out loud. I'm like,
Okay.
I know the kind of region it would be, but I can't recollect at this moment exactly what vowels it would be. I'd have to, if I was in the library, I could tell you in a heartbeat, but here, I'm at a loss.
Is there someone there? Whoa. Let me back up there for a second. Is there someone that you would be able to, that by name, that you could speak with? If you were there? Somebody who you trust with this sort of query?
There's somebody. Hold on.
That guy's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. One page.
What, you just rolling for fun over here? Or are you trying to
I'm keeping the die
Wait,
warm.
keeping it hot.
I was actually the person who sent me on this task is Heilinsenenler. Anywhere close? It's Heilinsenenler.
I have to look at it.
Top, very first word.
Heidensenenlure.
Heilinsenenler.
Lean Senen Lur. I think that's right, because the E's would be different. So I think it's Hai Len Sinin Lur.
So I was sent here by Hailin Sininier. He's very busy, but I don't. I mean, since he sent me,
He's one of the higher ups in the towers. Yes.
I mean, all they need to do is send a runner. I can tell them.
I haven't met him, but I know of him.
Message.
I know of him.
If they could just send one of the...
Hold on, let me see. Because I would be able to get him a message. Where is that?
The curiosity. How do you send a message that far?
Through magic.
Yes, but what magic?
It's called
Not-
sending.
Sending. Okay.
Yes.
Sending.
Sending.
I just know message, so I know that's not that far.
Cute. Sorry, that's
Fistinier holding down the
condescending.
squad.
That was not very nice.
No, it was. I apologize, but like, you know, this is.
I know, you're
cantrip.
very high.
It's a cantrip, alright?
Yes, yes. I know.
How
of
much
it.
is he
I don't
actually
name
saying
it.
this out loud? I don't know if he's actually saying that much out loud.
I like to think that he was accidentally
That's
really mean.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And he's like mortified that he was.
I think that's right. Cute.
I am so
I
sorry.
apologize, but how old are you?
I don't know. Let me look. How am I-
Old enough to know better, probably. Woo!
Oh, I'm 58.
Oh, you're okay.
All they would have to do is send one of the Silnivuds to fetch the texts. I could tell them where in the library to look. That's the runners, the hopefuls. I just
All right, let me think for a moment because I only have minimal words available here. So let's see. Greetings, representative of friend. How should I say
Hear me
this?
out. Just say urgent. We need this information. Something moment.
No greetings.
Your name.
Okay.
Great. I hate to skip the formalities here, but
Well,
only something words.
unfortunately, I'm sending the message, so greetings it is. Greetings, friend of Fisvenir.
Friend's a bit strong, but we'll use it.
I apologize. Acquaintance of Fisvenir.
I don't want to risk offending him. I have to go back to the towers at some point.
Offending him? I'm the one present, sir. Acquaintance of Fisvenir. What did you say? Languages of the
Language.
southern
the
Dristace and Urisrid?
specifically the languages of this time, this place, these families, this part of the library.
Alright. Acquaintance of Fisvenir.
He seems rather stiff.
Ooh, how do we get the information back to us is the question. How would you describe this?
Facts.
All I need is the family name. Well, not family name. I guess I would need
Borrowing
Yeah.
language. Old? Ancient? How would you say this? Ancient language.
Do I know the exact time?
Ancient Shauron. Percussive K sounds. Southern Dristace and Urisrid. That's this region, by the way. Dristace and Urisrid means the winter woodlands, but it's only one word. Southern Dristace and Urisrid. Dristace, that's always so long. I can't believe it.
Would this message be a lot shorter if it was in Leiludum or Shauron? For in-world knowledge, not for you right now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
to change the
10.
entire
I'm only at 10 words right now.
I feel like we're
K sound Southern Chain, Ancient Shawan, K sound Southern Dristace and Urisrid. That's kind of it, isn't it?
How do we get it back? What?
I
We
don't
need
know
to
how to
know
get it back.
I assume he can send the same sort
Oh.
of message. So as long as he can tell us.
Roll me just intelligence saving throw.
I don't know what to add there.
You should be proficient in it.
That's a nat 20.
Wow. Okay, so you would say vowel comparisons is probably how you would say it.
Alright, just as long as he can send us the vowel comparisons, I can figure it out from there.
Vowel comparisons. Greetings. Acquaintance of Fisveneer, Ancient Shalrant, Case Sounds, Southern Tristation Urisid, Vowel Comparisons. Urgent matter. No, just urgent is fine. I'll put your urgent in there.
Thank you.
Urgent rune requests.
Should it say something about the catastrophe, or he just kind of...
We only have so many words.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
I'm sure they.
9,
they sent to
10,
me. They already know something that happened.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Fair enough.
The Right Honourable... The Right Honourable Melbim of the Legislature of the Castellarid. You didn't need anything else, right?
No. Talented is wasted.
Now my power show did teach me to
Talent is wasted
show
on
some
young.
respect and manners, but how far is too much? I do wonder.
That's 25. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I
7,
truly
8,
miss the bureaucracy of the
9,
towers.
1, 2, 3, 4,
That's a
5,
single
6,
two.
7, 8,
That was pure
12,
sarcasm.
15, 16, 17,
I miss my
19,
study.
20, 21, 22, 23,
My
24,
books.
25. That seems about right. And he sends it. Greetings, acquaintance of Fisveneer, Ancient Shalron Case Sounds, Southern Tristation Urisrid, Vowel Comparisons, Urgent Rune Request, the Right Honourable Melbim of the Legislature of the Castellarid.
Sounds
When you
good to
adjusted
me.
your arms, I pictured him like pulling up his.
He does
cloak
actually have like very big sleeves.
Does
Like,
it, is
when
it
you
more
first
like
come
the scholarly sleeve?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
drooping.
Like
Yeah.
the droopy?
It's on his. I should pull up his character model because literally he's just. Let me pull up his character model for you all.
College graduation robe?
Not quite. Wait, let me get what a Hero Forge. Not sponsored, but please.
That'd be cool.
That would be so cool. We spend enough money on their stuff anyway because they're so nice. Come on, open it up. All right. Do I have to really? He's working on it, and he'll get back with us when he has a chance.
3 weeks later.
Now he said he would be right on it. He said he would be. He would get somebody on it. I don't know that he would reply exactly.
I don't think Melbourne likes your sense of humor.
I don't think that knows.
Is that a Sponging Bob reference?
Sponging
A Sponging Bob reference. There it is.
Do you know what's better than 24?
Here you go. You guys can pass him around.
I do see him.
Okay. So you found most of the runes.
He's a
Yeah, I imagine he's.
a dark elf.
Whoa!
That's what Mopari are.
Yes.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes, that's how you first met him. He had his hands
You know what?
together.
Maybe I've given Melbourne a bad
Hero
shake.
Forge is fun.
I feel like he looks like quite a pleasant little fella.
You've caught him at a bad time, so it's a bad time for everyone at the moment.
Well, maybe some worse than others.
Mommy.
Right,
Well, fair, but you know,
While we're
lost
waiting
friends
on-
as well. Was he a part of a delegation, mind you?
I understand.
Would you like to talk about it?
What's up,
What would
man?
you
I
like
don't
to
want to
know?
talk
I
about
mean,
Want to talk?
Bring
Let's give him a hug.
bring it in.
Melbourne gets a
no,
quick hug.
I've managed my grief. It's been some time, not a lot,
A
but
bit too internally, I think.
I have several considerations that I must make. We'll say that they get back to you. You're on your way back to the castle, palace at this point. Because do you guys have anything else that you want to do other than head back there?
Question: Was
Yeah.
the library destroyed? I seem to
Here?
remembering the library in the palace was destroyed.
So you have not seen the library yet. Ashtakrrok said that it was in bad shape because everything got aged. But that it's past the, like, you guys came in the main antechamber, the
I was just wondering
atelier, if you will.
if you could find anything on runes there.
You have not been able to look yet because it's past the main doors into the king's chamber have
We'd
been
have to
closed.
use sneaky.
You're trying to sneak around. Well, so
sure
you're
we can
headed
just
back to the
do it.
palace then,
Okay.
right? Is that what I'm
well,
asking?
I'm decent.
We haven't looked through the runes yet. Our rune boy. Yo.
Do you recognize?
It's incomplete.
Do you want
but-
these turned so that they can be facing
Yeah.
your direction?
Well,
Does it help?
maybe.
You'll need to rotate.
I don't
90 degrees.
think so.
Counterclockwise.
I mean, you know this one's crazy, so that one's not the right way. Oh, yes, it is. Just go back.
Hopefully you're mortified at the line that connects.
Listen, it is crazy. That's outside of the bounds of what he understands runes to be.
My poor little mind. It's just.
And as you can see, it's obviously of some sort of importance because it's in the middle. The fact that it is strange
I wonder
is
if it
strange
means,
in
if it
and of
means something
itself.
like center or centering.
Right, I've
Because
had
it-
an idea.
Sorry, you moved it.
But what about that one?
It's remarkably similar. Except one line.
Let me see that again. What is that one? Oh yeah, sure enough. I wonder what that means. What if that has anything to do with anything?
As far as being.
What does that one mean? Sorry.
Well,
Does that
you
one
decipher. I'm sorry.
All right. So you took like a sketching of all of them. You've got all of them
These
recorded.
in war. These are my sketches. I think.
Right,
These-
so
yeah, these are the
we're
relics.
kind of looking through what we know, right? Because we can't access this, and so shoot. What is your name? What is your character's name?
Fistfinu.
Fist and ear. It's easy
Fist
to
and ear.
remember.
Sir.
in face.
So I've been thinking about this, and in particular,
Mage
the
has
one
big
in the
nose.
center of the city, the one that just seems like it's an impossible rune, is oddly similar to a rune that I do know.
Right.
If it were one line different, and I trace it with my finger on your rubbing, and I said if it only went this way, it would be the rune for a boon. And I was a poet and I didn't even know it.
A rune for
A boon. So
A boon as in like a
Like you know,
strengthening
like
of?
yeah, like a blessing or a
Right.
a boon, like a little
That's kind of disconcerting.
I'd say that's the opposite of what happened.
right.
A broken boon.
A broken.
What? Who wants to roll?
All of
Yes.
us.
Ooh, he doesn't know. He doesn't make anything out of
this-
that.
what-
rolling for what?
Arcana?
Arcana?
Arcana.
Sure, Arcana. Arcana.
I'm nature every day.
A
Hey.
Advantage?
20.
Runes?
Fine. It's the exact same number. It's the exact same number.
20.
Nat 20? What? You guys should just let him
Hang
roll for
on.
everything.
Hang on.
Not natural 20, though. That's
No,
a dirty 20.
It's dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
All right. So you would at this point pipe up and say something along the lines of like, these are from the further, by the way.
Okay.
Remember where these are from.
These runes, I believe, are actually from the further. They go back to the further.
So
Well, yeah, whatever happened with what we ultimately lost coming across the breach, during the breach, through the breach, during the breach, how would you say that?
Along the breach.
That's right. That's
within the
correct.
breach,
Okay.
It's very mysterious. It's weird.
all of the above.
We lost all of that history of the further. And so even the event itself, I suppose, is similar in some degree, to some degree.
But do I take you to mean that maybe a boon in the further is not exactly what we would consider a boon here?
I don't see in many situations where
kind
the
of-
acceleration of time could be a bit.
This could go out of character or in character either way.
We're just speculating. You can do whatever you'd like.
Who might shoot him? Who is like what race is the foremost on runes? Because he knows a lot about runes.
I mean, anyone from the further. I would say that, I mean, yes.
But who is specialized? Like,
the Kistone and the Kistiro, all from the further. And so, I mean, I don't particularly like to encounter any sort of Kistiro, obviously.
what's a Kistiro?
Kistiro is bad news, chap.
They're just
Bad news.
Bad monsters.
Equivalency would be like ogres, trolls.
Okay. Ogoroids.
Humans.
Goblinoids.
No, not goblinoids. Humans, but like big and mean and eat you. So ogres, trolls, ettins. Sorry, I said
Cyclops.
Wejlom. No Cyclops. No Cyclops.
Nephilim.
Wejlom. You know,
okay.
Wejlom. Grimlocks, or what they actually is like the actual term, but Wejlom is what they would be called. The what are they? It's the Rejlaz Rhekōlb. You're in there. Wejlom.
It's what we're on.
They're bad news. They're like Zejlom, Wejlom,
Also,
Zekwel.
what is this thing again?
Torbadankish. Torbadankish are bad versions of him.
Durgar.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you for blowing up my spot. Thank you so much. Yes, canonically they would be Duragar.
Duragar, am I right?
You've lost me.
They do sound similar. Interesting. Any other ones that are similar to what you would know?
Well,
I'm trying to think of anything.
I'm looking and
Let me take a look and see if any of these other ones would be like.
I guess it depends on how
Very
similar.
unsettled with the absence of that.
Because
So this one is Mercy, is what you said. Yes. This
Yeah,
one's
that
Mercy?
one's Mercy. Mercy.
That one's Mercy. All right.
I'm not sure about my accent sometimes,
I
but I'm
think
working on
this
it.
one would be people's name. I would say, and also that one. This one you would probably recognize. Sorry, this one you would probably recognize as Star. And that one you would recognize as Sun. S-U-N, as opposed to S-O-N. The astronaut.
So what I'm
astronomical.
Do we want to write that on
there
the
is
back?
nothing of correlation between these runes right now.
As of right now, we just have
Do you
these.
recognize these?
I would say that those would. It's similar to how your name is a rune. I would say that those would be nice enough names, essentially.
Star.
I don't have what they would actually be. Sorry, I don't have. I can make them up, but I don't want to right now.
This one's Sun.
And that one would be Sun, and that one is
I'm just
Mercy.
arbitrarily writing it. I'm not orienting them, but I could, I guess. Merci.
Merci beaucoup.
The only other one that really caught my eye is
We're missing that one.
this one actually. If it were like adjusted this way as well, if I'm seeing that correctly.
What one? Can I see it?
This one.
Which one are you looking at? Oh, okay, that one.
But it also would be like a typo, effectively. Misprint. Kind of like this.
I think what we can. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
Go ahead.
right
I'm
in.
not saying
I
anything.
think what we can conclude from this, based on the reading of your language, I am arriving by magical movement at distant lands, and these are all runes from the further.
Something came.
Do we reckon
Something
that?
came through from the further.
Well, do we think that it is a message from the further, and here is the distant lands? Or I think that's more reasonable than the further being the distant lands and something leaving here.
I think that
One is definitely a lot scarier than the other.
But the only thing that came through
Okay.
was lightning, and that didn't really come through either. That was just part of it.
That we know of.
Yeah, as far as we could observe, right? Isn't that what Ashtakrrok had said? From
Yeah,
his
Ashtakrrok.
I
vantage
think we
aboard
should. Here,
the
okay.
ship.
Nothing came through or out.
Here's
except
what I
for,
think we should do.
Firework.
By this point, are we back at the palace?
Yeah, we can say that you're back at the
We
palace at
need
this
to
point.
bring what we have found to Ashtakrrok.
Probably right, but
Let me pull up his.
Will, could you hand?
We've discovered a lot since we've last spoken with him. So,
He's a smart feller.
Have we heard back from...
I like to think we were just talking and some random...
some random guard's like, man, he's a smart feller.
He's a smart guy.
That's exactly what happened. Ashtakrrok's a bang up guy. You know, I can't believe how much I trust him. Barely know him. But he seems like a swell guy.
That feels like a Skyrim encounter. Like, you're just walking through the street.
Did you say Ashtakrrok? He saved me from a whale.
Have you been to the Sky District recently?
Where is he?
Cloud District.
Whatever.
Get it right.
There's Ashtakrrok. View Ashtakrrok. All right.
Rejlaz Rhekōlb great again.
Hey, careful! You're gonna get his downvoted on the YouTube algorithm. Okay, Ashtakrrok. Ooh, boy, he is smart. Wow. Plus 10. Oof.
Wow.
Yeah, he got a full on 20.
I know I was making a joke about him being a wise man, but he's a wise man.
Yeah, you guys. He would murder all of you instantly. It would not even cost him like. It would be bad. Yeah, you haven't even seen what he does. You know he's an artificer, but like what type artificer?
Did we know that?
Yeah.
Remember he has the cool armature that comes off of his hand to help him manipulate small bits.
Oh, I said something earlier, and I realized it was wrong. I said mechanical machinations. I'm an alchemist.
Yeah, alchemical machinations. Alchemical machinations. Alchemical. We'll say as you approach, because it'll probably... Well, you guys are making it around, so you were already basically back to the palace anyways. You send word for Ashtakrrok, and he's able to break himself away. Because, well, let's see, how long do you think it'll be? It's probably nighttime. You guys...
We walk up to his bed, and he's slowly slipping
I don't even know.
out of it.
This may have been a multi-day excursion. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is a huge city.
Yeah.
It's a huge city. We probably had a break at some point.
Was an hour.
Yeah, that was an hour.
And then it took us time to figure out the pattern.
You guys also just arrived.
Right.
And had to walk all the way through the city slowly. So you probably didn't get out until about midday. We'll say that after you found that, you went to sleep. You came back, went to sleep, recouped the next day.
In the sewer.
No, you did not. I mean, you may have slept in the sewer. Melbim did not sleep in the sewer.
Prestidigitation not good enough for you?
Prestidigitation only works so much.
And you can't do it when you're sleeping.
That's true. Can't cast spells while you're sleeping.
Well,
I've tried.
actually, if you're good enough, you can. But
Actually, to be honest, technically I can. But
yeah, me too.
he doesn't say that. He wouldn't expose that to you guys.
Just complete.
That's not canon. It is canon, but they don't know that's canon.
We don't sleep. We're in a trance.
That's fair, but yes, you do actually still get that. So do you have any conversations with him? No, we're gonna backtrack that much. Also, he's probably busy talking to the elder, whatever I named him again. His name may change, just so you know, because I can't. Mokaro. Mokaro. That's good enough. Okay, we'll say Mokaro. Lock that in. Mokaro.
You say it Mokaro.
Mokaro. That's probably not a great name for Mopari, but whatever. It's got an M in it. That's
maybe
good enough.
Mokaru. I don't know. I just wrote no.
Mokaro. Well, guess what? It's Mokaro now.
Nice.
Yes, Mokaro, the elder statesman.
He's not there. Because I don't want to have
I miss Professor Snape.
Yes, he was actually
we all do. We all do.
He was actually supposed to be a Douglas Headley, but he ended up being more Professor Snape.
Douglas Headley.
Them all.
But Douglas Headley is basically a Severus Snape, just a little bit different. So, but Ashtakrrok is here, and he will rule for it. So,
oh no, he's not Russian. He's Middle Eastern accent. Russian are lizard people.
Just like the real world.
Huh?
Said that fits.
They're not bad. Oh. They're not lizard people. They're dragon people. It's a difference. Because there are no lizard people.
Sword shadow.
No, they're like very minor annoyances. But they're not playable characters, so don't worry about it.
Ashtakrrok. There he is. Okay. Oh. Quite a busy two day you guys have had. Let me see.
And he show them all the material.
Yep, exact this. Map, put them all on the map.
Well, you've added them to the map in a smaller form. Because remember, these are like these
Well,
are. As big
I
as
have
the
smaller
map.
sketches
Yeah.
in my personal.
You've made
And
small.
making
You've made small
note
sketches,
that there is
and
a-
they've gotten back to you at this point. We'll say they got back to you overnight.
Big question mark on that one.
They got back directly to you. They would not have gone through Melbim because they consent sending to you. So you get brain blasted in the middle of the night. Not in the middle. Actually, you probably got brain blasted in the middle of the night. But that's fine for you.
Out of my trance.
Yeah. And they give you what you need. They're able to figure it out. Well, they give you the options. So the way that they end up doing it is it may take a couple sendings, but what they say is the name of the house, and each equivalent letter. So it would be like they would say A, standard A, 2, standard A, O, accented A. Actually, they just go A because all of them are paired. So it'll be A, O, E, I, U, A, blah, 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 until they give you the correlates in your system. So you're able to write these down as they give them to you.
And then I don't know where we're staying, but I burst into the. Nah, I'll save it for later.
Let them. Sorry.
I can sleep.
I mean, it will
Let
take
them
you.
sleep.
It will take you a little bit to get it all figured out, wouldn't it?
I know we just gotta keep trying the vowels until you can tell what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's what he ends up doing because when you wake up,
So
he's
it's
like,
brute force.
It's just
they're
standing
going
over
to brute force. There's
Are
only
you
like
awake
five.
yet?
There's only like
Sure.
5 families from the area, and the K does help a lot. So there's only 5 to choose from. But you end up hearing it. You end up hearing Nipat mi spish kolek dolet me fuito.
Me fuito.
Me fuito. Fuito. Fuito.
Me fuito.
Me fuito. So you guys are gonna have that now. There you go. There's the whole thing. The top one. The bottom of the top one. Bottom of the top section.
This.
The one that's in English, yeah. Just
Travel by
Give it
magic.
the wires.
Tell me, man. I got to know what it is.
No, where am I reading?
Right,
This middle.
right there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Brain didn't work for a moment. I travel by magic through sky and air. That's disconcerting. Considering everything that happened was in the sky and air.
What was the other bit again?
I guess Melbim is there.
Even lightning?
They're both there.
I'm arriving
That was
by
something about
magic
it.
to distant lands.
I'm arriving by magical
talking-
movement at distant
Hey.
lands.
The other day we were talking about there was a
I believe one of the patrons is
martial deity? Or whatever we were talking about. Patron? What?
There's a patron. There's a patron with lightning, right?
I mean, who's going to be answering that?
Lightning was associated with something from the fall. Further, whatever we called it.
The third.
Thank you.
As far as oh, where is he?
There he is. There he is. Okay, got him. All right. No, the breach.
in order.
The breach
first one and
was.
the second one.
I believe you're referring to the opening of the breach, which was wreathed in flame.
Yes, but fine, but then there was...
Lightning would be. I mean, as far as lightning, you would have Mavai. Mavai Veneer would be equivalent to lightning. There's also Jashak with storms.
Are either of those negative?
I mean, depends on what you ask. If we're being honest about the pantheon of our pantheon here. I mean, obviously I'm partial to Jashak. Jashak is the patron of the Nebo Jash. If you might notice, there's an etymological root in both of those. Jashak, Nebo Jash. Their names literally mean strong arm of Jashak. So, he's a bit partial.
I have a question.
But I refuse. I refuse to believe that Jashak would be involved in such decimation.
Understandably. So... Just trying to get a grasp on...
And for Mavai Veneer, he's also
What's going on?
justice. He's been involved
Not... You're saying he's not this. This is not him.
No, like we established, like this is Pashru.
So
Pashru would be the closest to any sort of deity that might be involved with this. And like I said, Pashru, the Keshek from the far shores. But the far shores are not, they are the far shores. They're not over here. They've been banished for.
So that's the thing. Is
the far shores.
all these runes are from the far shores, and some of them we don't know what they are.
They're from the further.
Further. Okay. Thank you.
Different dimension.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Am I reading too much
Not
into
from
this?
Oblivion.
Yeah.
On here, and especially for the Leludum, it has +M or +F for masculine and feminine on the words. Does that have any sort of connotation? Like the magic and divine. Is it important that?
Sorry, I copy and pasted that from my list.
So I shouldn't look into that. I should just look at the English.
Yeah, this is just like grammatically.
Okay.
This is a feminine word. This is a masculine word.
Well, I didn't know if there was like a different feminine masculine word for magic, and like the fact that it was one or the other.
No. There's just the word rule is just magic. There's no other. Like, you could say, well, even that's. So any word that would be like revolving around magic is probably going to end up being masculine, because of just like cultural norms, essentially. Yeah. But like Foley, I wouldn't read too much into that because I didn't pay attention to it. I just copy and pasted it from my dictionary of Sharon words, and I have to have all of them. Well, all of like the nouns and verbs marked out for that. You can have that back.
I don't know. I'm guessing here what all this means.
Oh, he was going to roll for it.
Is it a 1 or 7? It's a 1.
2.
That's a 7. Even that's a 17. That's not good enough.
Can you write that all together?
So as of right now,
Yeah.
excuse
two
me,
different sentences.
pardon me.
Travel, and sky.
He'll bring you into the library.
Yeah.
What's going on with it?
Where is the library?
So I mean, the library. It's not special or anything. It's just like you have been taken into the king's chamber, like his audience chamber, and
sky. I am arriving.
What do you?
he's trying to tell he's trying to communicate.
What?
To the library.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like you're just allowed into the audience chamber, and the library is off of the audience chamber. That's all it is. It's just you go through one door and it's off another. It's not even a door. It's just like you go straight into the library. Yeah, and you go into the library. It says, as you can see, like I've been going through and
Of the, gotta make sure he stays down low. He's a giant man, much bigger than me. Low voice. I've been working on the works that I would consider recoverable. I can mend things myself, so I've been mending some of these things. And I haven't found anything that would be of particular use here. So let me get up to speed with you all, though. You said that this one over here, that one's Mercy.
That's right.
This one is related to Boon, as far as you can tell.
It's at least one stroke off.
One stroke off. This one is Star and that one is Sun.
That's right.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
you all can take. It's a new
recognize
day. You all
anything?
can take an Arcana roll if you want, or for you, whatever it is.
I can redo my thingies.
12.
Oh, he finally did a bad one.
Oh, what was the roll?
16.
16. Nah, he got a 7. He rolled a 7. Still got the 17.
23.
23.
Up all night
Let me
study.
think. Okay,
Upanor's
this is
not
what
a
I'm
dumb guy,
saying.
guys.
So you ask him about the patrons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, and he talks, and he says what he says, like,
Joshua couldn't be involved, and Mavai Veneer, he's, the embodiment of justice. So I don't think that...
and he says justice, and that makes you triggers in your brain the Mountain Triumvirate is how they would be known, which is the 3 patrons of the Yungol. In ancient times, ancient times. In the distant past, they sat enthroned in the mountain, and they passed judgment on the mortals of Umbalin with Mavai Veneer, with Cair Novus, who was called something different at the time, knowing your misdeeds, Fuelcon knowing your good deeds, and Mavai Veneer determining what's just. And when he says justice, it makes you think of that. And mercy is a direct correlate for Fuelcon. And that would then trigger in your brain, well, if that means a patron, then the sun would be, well, it could be either Zhashak or Furun, because the sun, it's very contested. Not Fuelcon, Zhashak is like the embodiment of the sun for the Nibel Zhash. But in Sharon culture, the sun and the moon are both directly related to their patrons, Furun and Turin, because they're day and night, sun, moon. And you would call the sun is known as Furinur, which means Furun shield, and the moon being Turinur, which is Turin shield. So that one you could see as a correlate for a patron. And then you hear, what was this one? Star? Mm-hmm. Star you would see as a patron as well, because Turin is the patron of the night, of the stars. I mean, most of the stars are actually feminine in actual naming, because she is the patron of the night. So, that gives you some idea. And then looking at the whole collection, there's 10 runes. But you know that there's 9 patrons.
There's 11 runes, though.
What's this?
Oh, sorry. There's 10 runes. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. There are 9 of the original 3 races, and then there's Zhashak, who's like a solo guy. So you know that there's 10 patrons in the pantheon of Umbalin, and that you have found 3 direct correlates here in this right here. That's just the connection that you're making.
Is this all being information shared with us?
Yes.
Okay, he's sharing.
They correlate to different deities.
Patrons, please.
Patrons,
please.
Throwing
Multiple patrons.
Throwing ideas out there. If we were to say that these all correlated with all the different patrons, and there's only 10 patrons, we're missing a rune, but there should be a circle of 10. And then the one in the middle. So there's one more rune than there is patrons, or at least...
In other words, there's an unknown patron.
Right. Something powerful enough to open that hole in the sky.
A rift, one might say.
A shrine to an unknown god.
Hold on.
But what desire would a patron have to decimate a city?
Back to the actual words around the rune. I travel by magic through air and sky.
Right. We don't know who I is.
Yes, but air and sky. Is there a patron to do with air and sky?
Right.
Specifically air and
See
sky.
if it's a new patron.
No, it's not on that. I'm looking at. I know what these all mean, obviously.
Things.
So that one I think would be. Yeah, I think you probably recognize that one. I would say off of this as predator.
Predator.
That's not good.
My favorite. I want that.
Which one's
rune.
alien?
Hey, I think that's like a couple of decades old.
Which I think
Like 100.
Like,
Like 100.
Yeah.
like predator, like a predator.
Okay.
bad.
You would have a different one for hunter.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's not a good thing.
Does that correlate with the patron?
I mean, if you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, you know, just trying to force things in there, then you. Let's see what it gets. Yeah, that's great. That's a 28. With this new information, Ashtakrrok's going to save you all, I guess. Predator.
That would be, I mean, Predator would basically, that would only be Pash rule, would be my guess.
He's certainly a predator.
My big thing that I'm
What's
realizing
20?
here is we have 9 outers right now, correct? And there's one missing.
Yeah.
if we can decipher what the 9 are, then we can see which one is missing. I just can't get my mind off that one rune that detonated.
That is interesting.
Because it
Did Melbim
to
have
me, it
any
seems like the cataclysm went off the way it was supposed to.
So Melbim wrote a report on this, you said?
Yeah.
You said he wrote a report on it?
At least he said he was going to.
I'd like to see that report. We need to get in there, is what I say.
I do too.
I'm willing to.
Are we able to send some men down there to start clearing rubble and stabilizing the tunnel?
In fact, chop.
And just the guy walks off.
It's the same guy from before, the smart guy. Yeah.
Right away, sir!
You always know what's best.
Hot dog, more work! Yeah, so...
Hot dog.
Hot dog! There ain't even dogs, they're called quups. Dogs in the world are called quups. A certain type of dog is called a quup. It's he would call them quups.
Hot quip.
There's other types, obviously. That's the type that some of you guys ride around in battle.
I want a quap.
You and everyone else.
Battle quap.
Battle quups.
Ashtakrrok, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said that how did the catastrophe end? At least from where you saw it on the bay, did it just sort of like pull back into itself?
It snapped. The halo broke, and
Wait, the halo broke. Sorry, the halo broke?
Halo.
On the north
Broke.
The halo broke.
Yeah, it
There.
snapped in like a bandit. Came back around and exploded from the
Almost, okay, so...
erupted from there. Maybe is the best word for it.
Okay, little theory. Maybe someone who actually knew what was going on, what was happening, maybe the actual, I'm going to say ritual, was interrupted.
I think at this point, yeah, the ritual certainly.
It was interrupted or not completed. So maybe this, whoever traveled by magic through sky and air, okay, didn't actually come through.
That would be my estimation as well, because
Because all of the
you
decimation...
weren't in there when I was describing it to you, but
Yes.
or to them, but you could almost see. I was looking into the blackness of the halo. There were figures is too descriptive of a word for what it was. It was the vaguest idea of being able to see something. It was like looking at reflections of firelight in a wet cave wall. To throw that out of nowhere. It almost came into focus. So it is as though it was close to being completed. At this point, it is a larger scale ritual that I've ever even heard attempted. It's miles across.
So during as the halo expanded, lightning was wreaking havoc, right?
Not at first. It was contained at first, and then it began to become erratic, and then broke and snapped across.
So,
Do you think the patrons themselves are involved? Are they like active beings in the world?
Does anyone live here?
They are active beings. They are.
And did one of the patrons
There are things.
rebel?
There are things attributed to patrons
Or-
frequently.
Isn't
So
that a temple to a patron?
That's the temple of Zerhus, who is a patron of the further.
Huh?
Zerhus, that's...
I know.
Would he correlate with any of these? Well, I guess we don't really
Well,
know.
if we started having patrons of the further, we'd have more than 10 by leaps and bounds.
Okay.
so that's probably, isn't it?
So
There's
we can
Ozek,
probably
there's
call that
Zerhus, there's what's that one? There's a weird one with wind. There's what's that one's name? It's like this crazy one that all the. There's a crazy one.
Either way.
He like peeled all of his own skin off and has like. 13
Okay,
teeth. He's
okay.
not good.
Okay, now, from my view, we figure out now who these other patrons are. And then like in the meantime, we figure that out why they excavate that tunnel, and then we go figure out who that was and why that happened, and maybe we'll have some information off the corpse that was in that room.
In the meantime, I think that you and I, and also you, Fistveneer and Nibdrum, being bookish as we are, I think that that we can. Sorry?
Nothing.
Potion boy. Mr. Vial. Vial.
It's just some artificer tete-a-tete right there.
I use Mage Hand to shake all your vials. All the ones that
While you're sleeping, you
You just start glowing.
I think that we take a deep dive into the runes that may or may not be present in the library here. Knowing what we know now, we have to find. Maybe we can do direct correlations. Maybe we can find the direct references to what other patrons were considered by the by the Keystone when they came over, because they are foreign concepts to them. So maybe they had to use the words that they had to describe what they couldn't. Mercy and Fjolkan, that makes sense. Star, Turin, that makes sense. Sun, Furun, probably. There's no Nibeljash on there. I'd say that's probably Furun. If it's the sun, it's probably Furun. These are pretty up hash roll. The other guy's not great. We'll have to figure out these other ones. But what does it mean after that, though? I think that we'll have to take some time and investigate and think about this.
I think if they truly are correlated to the patrons, I think the answer might lie in finding out why that one snapped. Why that patron something went wrong.
Be interesting to find that out.
And you'll have to figure that out next time, because we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in. If you liked what you heard, go and drop a like and subscribe. If you wanted to watch us do it all, see these lovely runes and maps, go ahead and head over to our Substack and drop a paid sub. It's so cheap. I have to set those prices. I think it's like $1 a month maybe, and then $10 for a year. So I don't think that's too bad. I mean, that's like less than a month of a basic Netflix subscription at this point. Yeah. Even with commercials. There won't be any commercials on ours.
It's less than most in the McDonald's menu.
Yeah, you can barely get out of Taco Bell with a full meal for $10 at this point. It's a bargain. It's a bargain. Other than that, hey, the music in the background, shout out to me.
Yes. In all seriousness, I do want to go ahead and, without your, feeling like you have to self-aggrandize or anything, thank you, Xander. You put a lot of work into this.
Yeah, this is crazy.
The map is great. The runes are great. The music is great. Thanks for putting a lot of this together.
To that end, you could probably see it on the channel, but you can stream this music. It's pretty chill. Well, some of it's pretty chill. There's one that's called U+U&O chill. That's one I've been playing right now because not all of the playlists that I have are built out yet. I'm still currently writing the friggin' music, so it'll take me a minute to get there. But we'll be building it out slowly, and you can find that stuff and stream it on our YouTube channel. If you're interested, you could ask for the sheet music. It's all notated. Don't need to worry about that bit of note. But until we are back next month. Oh, right, our other show.
Yes.
Up and Out. Hopefully you watched our episode from earlier today. I believe that's going to be our diversity episode, so that's fun. Yeah, I believe that's right? Because it's going to be March 1st, so that's going to be we're on episode 2. Don't want to give them too much new information, but I believe that it'll be our diversity episode. If not, there's an episode that came out earlier today on our YouTube and other channels that you can check out. If you're into theology bro stuff, that's what that one is. A very different vibe, but you know, I think it's still interesting. Otherwise, why make the show? And anything else that you guys want to talk about?
That's all. No.
All right.
Thanks
Well,
for joining
then
us.
until next month. Did I have an outro last time?
No, we said we
No.
figured it out.
Just
say
So,
bye.
Until next time, try not to get oblivious.
on adventuring.
I don't know, but well, I'll figure it out for the next one.
See y'all later.
Bye. It's a wave. Bye bye.